go. Hey! Welcome to your preferred avenue of entertainment during the apocalypse. We just want to first of all just make sure that everybody is being safe, that wherever you are, that you are taking care of those folks around you. I'm just going to move this mast here. It's a wonderful mast. We're just going to do that. Again, want to thank you for joining us. It's an incredible privilege for us to be doing this today. The number one reason we're doing this today is for GaryCon 12. That is virtual GaryCon. It has been a pleasure. We were all supposed to be there live at the show right now. So this is our way to make sure that it continues, that we give back to Luke and the Gygax family, and that we continue to celebrate Gary. I had my Hawaiian shirt, and it got off me at one point, but it is Hawaiian shirt day. So for all of those of you that are home and have a Hawaiian shirt, feel free to put it on, tie it around your head, whatever you do to celebrate with us a little bit of GaryCon action and excitement. Today, we are playing the prologue to our Tides of Wildemount campaign that will be launching April 6th next week. And I've asked a bunch of our friends to join us. We are live on the D&D Twitch, on the GaryCon Twitch, and on the RealmSmith Twitch. Definitely make sure that you follow and then subscribe as well to those channels to help everyone out a little bit and spread the love and all of that fun stuff. I want to thank our sponsors, Sirenscape, which is our main title sponsor. We actually got Sirenscape working for this stream. Woo! Last stream it wasn't working. We were able to get it working in the break, which is awesome. We just want to thank Ben and Steve and all those guys. Also, Dwarven Forge, WizKids. We're powered by Black Magic Design, of course, which have been a great partner of ours. Elderwood Academy, and also Mythroll Armories, which has a Kickstarter going on right now that you can check out at mythrollarmories.com. That's MYTHROLL, and they make these awesome, cool dice spinners that Joel is using, and his camera's on so we can hear it. Yeah, but yeah, so check that out. Awesome Kickstarter, and it's like 600% funded or something crazy like that. So congratulations on that to Joel and all those guys. Just a little fun a dice. What's the word I'm looking for? Alternative. Great for traveling, all that kind of stuff. All right. Also, we have GaryCon merch on sale. Go to the website. That is a great way to give back to GaryCon. Obviously, the canceling of all the shows that are happening have affected a lot of people. RealmSmith was a platinum sponsor this year. We were supposed to have a booth there this year. And Luke also is feeling it, of course. And so I'm sure he can echo that. But a way to support GaryCon is to head to the GaryCon page and hit the bazaar up for some awesome GaryCon merch you can get there. There's cups and all that kind of stuff. We also have some RealmSmith merch. That's a great way to support us as well. Apparently, Joel is stuck in some sort of storm. I'm a little concerned for his safety currently. You guys are having a lot of fun with those graphic backgrounds. It's hilarious. But you can check out our merch under the panel that I'm currently in if you're on the RealmSmith Twitch. And you can do that to help us out. And also check out all those other people's wonderful things. There are so many peoples around the screen. We'll do a quick just intro of who is playing, not character intros, and then just talk about a little bit of if you were going to be at GaryCon. Just tell us what you were going to be doing there. This is an opportunity to talk about Beetle and Grimm and some of those other things. And then real quick, we'll drop names, say what GaryCon means to you and what this means to you, and then we'll jump in. I think that is all the announcements. We did a great Curse of Strahd episode, part 1 of our campaign. This morning was the finale of this season, and then we are doing part 2 after this. The Matts joined us, as well as Noura, for an awesome session, and we will be doing part 2 an hour after this one is done. It was epic and amazing, and we want to thank everyone for doing that. You can also check out our adventure boxes at realmsmith.tv. It's basically a monthly adventure box that is sent to your home with everything you need to run an adventure. And you can get $25 off. It's a GaryCon exclusive by using the promo code GaryCon12. GaryCon X11 or LL or whatever that is. LL, I guess, yeah. Anyways, that's it for me for announcements. Wanted to make sure we got through that real quick. Let's do intros, starting with B Dave and going around that way.
Hello, B. Dave Walters, purveyor of tales and stories. You can find me anywhere someone will turn on a camera and let me say words. I am the writer and co-creator of Dungeons & Dragons: A Darkened Wish and the DM of the Dungeons & Dragons: A Darkened Wish stream that airs Thursday nights at 5 on twitch.tv/D&D. Also, I just go wherever anyone named Matthew asks me to be at.
Noura?
Sorry, I didn't know what direction we were until I looked at that screen over there.
You're just you're getting spacey.
Hello.
You're just spacing out.
I'm in character. Hello, I'm Noura Ibrahim. I'm usually at these cons playing lots of D&D or other TTRPGs. Currently, you can find me, we just did our season finale of LA by Night on twitch.tv/World of Darkness, which I co-star with B. Dave Walters right here, and we just did our season finale last week, but we still have 4, or is it 5 epilogues, B. Dave? 4 epilogues.
4, mine aired last night.
Yes, so we've got 4 epilogues to go, so tune in Fridays at 8.
Hi, I'm Matthew Mercer. I'm the Dungeon Master of Critical Role. We're a bunch of nerdy-ass voice actors sit around and play Dungeons & Dragons. And I this is such a weird thing. This world of Wildemount that we're playing in today is one that I created, and with the help of James, who's also part of this stream today. So super excited to be able to play in my own world. It's kind of wild. So thank you for having me.
Hi everyone, my name is Luke Gygax. I'm the head of GaryCon. So I want to thank all of you for watching, everybody who's here playing and making virtual GaryCon happen. Obviously, GaryCon is something important to my family and I, where we come together as a family to remember my father on a personal level, and then we've been very fortunate to be able to share that with the world, because he impacted so many lives and gave us this wonderful format of role-playing, tabletop role-playing games to make all these friends and have all these good times. So it was really wonderful, and to see everyone come together and make virtual GaryCon happen, I think it was needed, especially now. So many people are facing hardships with the coronavirus. A lot of people suffering, not only health-wise, but out of work stress and these sorts of things. So here's a time when we can all come together as a community, enjoy each other's company, have some fun, and really just do what we do around the table, but we're just doing it virtually this time. So again, thank you all for coming, and go get some GaryCon swag from our store.
Yeah, my name's Matthew Lillard. I'm one of the 5 creators of Beetle and Grimm's. We're 5 grown-ass men who are having a midlife crisis and started a Dungeons & Dragons company. Every single day we question that decision, but yet here we are 2 years later and still making kick-ass things. I want to say personally, we were going to show up this year to GaryCon for the first time. I was invited as a guest, and personally, having spent my entire life playing this game, it's an honor to be here with you today, Luke, to support you guys virtually. It's a game that has given me and my friends the best times of our lives, and have literally sat around and would rather play your father's game than do just about anything. So it's an honor to be here today and to support you and to support the con. And we look forward to defeating this virus and coming back next year and having a kick-ass time celebrating your dad's legacy and the game with you.
Yeah, I absolutely want to see everybody in person at Lucky GaryCon 13. That's what I'm calling it from now on, is because 12 was rough, guys. So let's get together in 2021 and do this face-to-face. I look forward to it. Thank you, Matthew.
For sure.
Hey, I'm James Haeck. I'm the lead writer of D&D Beyond and one of the co-authors of Explorer's Guide to Wildemount. I wrote the adventure, Tide of Retribution, which this stream is a prologue to. So it's very strange and surreal and wild to see other people playing characters that I thought would be NPCs in a DM's pocket. And it's just cool to see what all of y'all will do with these characters who I wrote, 2 or 3 sentences about. I have never been to GaryCon before. I haven't been able to make it all the way out there, so it's very odd but cool to be there for the very first time, for the very first virtual GaryCon. It'd be cool to go there in person sometime. Luke and all of you, thanks so much for putting this whole thing on.
Hi, I'm Brandon Perkins, and I am a writer, or I guess the writer for RealmSmith's modules and our boxes. And I've also done some DMing on RealmSmith's D&D channel as well, YouTube channel. And this is my first GaryCon, and I'm really excited to get to be a part of this. It's a deep honor, and it's been awesome getting to meet everybody here, and I can't wait to see how this game goes.
Hey guys, I'm Joel Auge, and I'm one of the co-owners of RealmSmith, as well as a middle-aged man trying to find his way through his adult childhood through Dungeons and Dragons. And I just want to say, yes, we were going to be sponsors for GaryCon this year, and it was an amazing event last year for us as a company. It's an awesome experience for us this year at virtual GaryCon, but I cannot wait to go next year in person, and just really, I just so appreciate playing Dungeons and Dragons with friends, and so yeah, I'm excited about this session. So excited. Let's do it.
Awesome. And I am Jason, your DM for this evening, and also co-owner of RealmSmith. And without getting too misty, this is super special for me. GaryCon last year was the first time I met Matt and Luke and Noura up front and close and personal for the first time. I got some chance to kind of hang out and chill. And I've told Matt this before many times. The reason I started DMing was because Critical Role brought me back to D&D. And so this is a little surreal and a little crazy, and pretty so cool. Much fun. We had a rough year last year. One of our players took his life last April, so it's almost a year to that day that is the case. And so, without getting too emotional here, we're doing him honor, and I'm super, super proud. I didn't mean to do this. Super proud to be here and to be supported by you guys, and to have gotten here with these people around us and be DMing is insanity for me. And so, thank you guys so much for that. And I can't say enough how much that means to me. So thank you.
My character immediately starts crying.
Yeah, well, your DM's already crying. But no, honestly, yeah, thank you for making my D&D dreams come true. This is beyond surreal. Whew, you guys ready?
Yeah, let's do this.
All right, let's get all piratey in a second. Just give me a minute here while I wipe my pirate tears. All right, here we go. Oh, the warm midday air tantalizes your senses. The familiar scent of salt water and damp decking. The sound of flapping sails and the creak of a hull swayed by relentless waves. You find yourselves gathered on the main deck of the Wave Chaser. A larger caravel of sturdy build captained by a female tabaxi named Three Earrings, a low-ranking revelry pirate that prefers subterfuge and deception over blatant piracy. The ship set out from Port Zune a day and a half ago and is on course due northwest along the Menagerie Coast. The captain has called a meeting to discuss the task ahead, and you take a moment before she speaks to look around you at your fellow crewmates. We can get a shot of the deck there for those of you watching at home. And now, real quick, if we can just have the cast describe your character. You are all currently on the deck together, listening to your captain give her briefing. We'll start with Joel this time, and we'll go counterclockwise.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, no, you're not. Get out of here. You're not even here yet.
Yep, I'm out of here.
Brandon, let's start with you.
Okay. I am a tabaxi with white fur and black spots, and I happen to be blind, but incredibly capable. And I am the ship's cook, and I am also the brother of the captain.
I am playing Heidi Axbeard, the first mate of the Wave Chaser. I'm a cleric of the storms of the seas and that are wild and unruly around the edges of the Menagerie Coast and the island of Darktoe.
My name is Bosun Boerth. I'm a huge human. You never see me without my spear, but I'm on the ship, and I'm proud to be with this group of brothers of pirates. Not piratery. Glad to be with this group of seafaring good peeps.
Really quick step at your service. I'm a halfling entertainer. I do juggling, prestidigitation, tumbling axe, and I play the flute. Here at your service. I'm just working aboard the ship, gaining my passage.
Hello there. I am Dilyu Delerant. I am, I think, the newest member of the ship, but I am a somewhat aqua-skinned sea elf who is young, impetuous, came up through the rough side of Port Zune, but is excited to strike out and make my fortune on the seas, hopefully as part of the Wave Chaser.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dajarkal. I am a half-orc druid. I look very menacing, but I'm very kind, at least to my animal friends. I'm here to make sure that the ship stays sanitary and that everybody stays 6 feet apart from each other at all times.
Hello, I am called Kejori. I am the quartermaster of the ship. I plot the navigational course. I make sure we do not get lost. And do not let my masculine physique fool you. I am more of a lover than a fighter. And everywhere I go, I find new friends.
So you're basically B-Dave.
Yes.
So it begins.
I didn't make it like this. James Haeck did.
Yep. They say act what you know.
You guys are also joined by 5 crew aboard the Wave Chaser. They're commoners who have taken up helping to sail the ship, as well as a guest by the name of Zilna Omerin. She's a female paladin elf with a kind demeanor who is traveling to your eventual destination of Palma Flora to start a new life. She boarded the ship in Port Zune along with Dilyu and with Verleigh as well, the halfling. As you guys kind of look amongst yourselves, she begins her briefing. She says, hello, everybody. It is time to kind of let you know what we will be doing across the Lucidian Ocean this day. As you know, we are headed to Palma Flora. It is a beautiful vacation spot. And we are going to rendezvous with a Marquesian vessel trading spice called Fusaka off the coast of the Twin World Isles. It is going to be a bit of a perilous journey because we are meeting them amongst the Mother's Sigh Reef. It is dangerous terrain, but I know that you will all not let me down. As you know, the waters among the reef are rough, so our crew, including all of you, must be at their best. From there, we will sail to Palma Flora for some much-needed shore leave and to retrieve an item that I have been looking very, very, very forward to getting my hands on. Any questions?
Aye, Captain. Do you think we'll be encountering anything unpleasant on this journey?
Aye. Apart from Boerth, and she kind of looks at Boerth and kind of winks at you. She says, apart from Boerth, no, I don't imagine, but you never know as it is. The Menagerie Coast is a menagerie of certain things. Sometimes craziness, sometimes wonderfulness. We will see as we go. But of course, I know and I trust that you will be at your best.
I have had many wonderful menageries in my time, That is why I'm enjoying this shore leave.
Then I shall prepare for anything. And Heidi Axbeard goes off and starts rummaging around in the hold for all sorts of things just to be prepared for any eventuality.
Okay, good. And being the first mate, that is a great thing for you to do. That is awesome. At this, go ahead. Yep.
So, Dilyu steps forward and says, Captain, just out of curiosity, are we being paid before we start the show leave?
Yes, but of course, once we reach Palma, Florida, you will absolutely get paid. And thank you for joining us. We haven't had much of a time to discuss or chat in the last 2 days. And I just appreciate you aboard our ship.
Of course, I will be very helpful, and I believe I am, and I point over towards Boerth and be like, I am to report to you, correct?
Yes. Indeed. Not only are you to report, but you are to follow my orders. Is that correct, Captain?
Yes,
The little green one is under my watch. Yes or no?
Yes, that is correct.
Well,
be kind.
You have work in front of you.
Be gentle.
Oh, I can take it.
Any other questions before we move on? All right. With that, prepare for the quest and the destination of the Twin Lord Isles, where we will rendezvous with the ship. Okay? To your stations. Shall we go? At this time, guys, whatever you want to do in preparation for your journey, you can do that now. If there's anything aboard the ship that you'd like to do as you kind of travel, it's about a 2-day travel or so to Palma Flora. So it's about half a day to the Twin Lord Isles from where you are right now, given good wind and good weather.
It should have been 3 days, but I have plotted quite a nice course to shave some time off, huh?
Very good, Kajoy. I knew I could trust you.
I'll pull. I like to pull Dilyu aside and say to him, as we're traveling together, I think it's important that I understand what it is you bring to the ship. What can I count on you for?
Of course, Boston. I'm a very eager worker. I am nimble with my fingers. I can dart about to whatever particular things you require of me, but my real speciality comes with handling things, how do I say, unseen and with rapid pace. So when it comes to repairs, I am very dexterous and able to handle whatever elements of the boat need to be taken care of.
Right. And if we're put upon by wicked things from the sea, will you watch my back or will you be in front of me?
Well, I will be watching your back from probably a distance or behind something so nothing comes after me.
Right. And as soon as I fall, you'll be the first to pick my pockets. Is that what I understand?
No. I would be probably the third based on the look of this crew.
Okay. Well, as we travel, make no mistake, I expect of you work and hard work.
Of course.
You'll check in with me morning, noon, and night as to what you can do to work upon the ship. Is that understood?
That is very understood, both. What would you like me to do right now?
Great. You see that deck? Swab it. Clean. Twice. Anon.
Not part of my job description, but it'll be done. And I go off and start swabbing the deck.
I was going to volunteer to help my friend Dilyu with things, but after seeing Boerth, I'm going to use some of my stealth skill to kind of back behind some boxes and piles of books and things and make myself very, very quiet and unobserved. The physical labor is not related to...
Yeah, give me a stealth check to see how well you moonwalk kind of out of the scene.
Oh, yes. I did very well. Dirty 20.
Yeah, you disappear. Where do you want to hang out? Basically, there's the rowboat on deck. You can also kind of head under deck if you want to, or below deck.
I'll slip under below decks and maybe go see the cook. That seems like somebody that I should probably hang around Snow.
Okay. Snow is currently on the deck. Actually, as you kind of look around and you wonder, he's one of the he was one of the crew members that was on the deck at the time. But as you kind of start to look around, the captain says, I would like to speak to the officers, please. If we can meet in my chamber, that would be wonderful, please. And of course, the officers being the quartermaster, the first mate, and the bosun. And then she gives the rest of you leave.
I never turned down an invitation to someone's private quarters.
Yeah, it's okay. I think I have some animals to check on and survey.
Good. You guys all head.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to see what I can rustle up for some additional. I'm sure I only had one breakfast this morning, so I'm a little peckish.
Okay.
If I get a chance, I want to have a private word with the captain at some point.
Yeah, you imagine that after she kind of speaks to you guys, that might be something that is possible.
Okay.
All right, so you guys head under deck. The officers do, and you stand within her quarters. She's got a modest kind of room. Just outside, though, is a kind of conference table, small conference table with 6 different chairs, and that is typically where the officers meet and plot courses and discuss matters of the ship. You guys sit down at the table, and she looks across the table and she says, first of all, as we all know, there are new members aboard our ship, including our guests, that do not know the true manner of what we do. We need to keep that the way that it is, and we need to keep that under our hats. Do you understand?
Understood. I'm not sure why we're hiding who we are from them. I mean, by virtue of the fact they travel with us, doesn't that include them on our journey?
I agree with Boerth. They seem like nice, very trustworthy people. I believe if we tell them that we are all scoundrels, perhaps they would adapt to our way of doing things, huh?
There's only one problem with that idea. They're nice, trustworthy people.
I don't know about that Dilyu. You spend any time with him? Shady, indeed.
Yes.
He strikes me as a sweet young boy. A bit too sweet for the piratical life, if you ask me.
I believe nothing of that.
I don't know what you mean. I'm sure that all of them are exactly what they appear to be.
The Clovis has long fingers that reach far. We have to watch our appearances. And having those on board that do not know the truth, then they don't have to lie. They can just be truthful about what they believe happens on this ship and what our dealings are. So in that case, it's easier for us to be able to act the way that we are without giving the information to them until maybe we trust them. But they're too new.
Aye, if they leave the service of this ship and they know that we're pirates, they might try and turn us into the Zalezo for a large reward.
I have an idea that might be some fun. Boerth, maybe you come up with a small secret you give to this Dilyu, and then we see if he keeps the secret or if he tells. Then if you hear the secret being bantered about the ship, you know he leaks like a bad wineskin, and...
Not a bad idea. Captain, I ask you permission to do such a thing.
That is very sneaky, sir. I say yes. I say that is, I don't mind that.
Then I shall start the rumor about you, sir.
Very good. When we rendezvous with this Marquesian ship, we are to exchange some gold for the spice. We are getting it at a very, very good price. We are not asking any questions of where it came. The exchange will be made by manning the rowboat and rowing over to the other ship. You will go into the hold, you will be given the crates of spice, and it will be taken back to the wave chaser here where it is safe. What I will tell you is that I want you to dig deep. A little deeper than you imagined that they would like you to when you are down there. I want valuables, of course. Things that we could potentially resell. Things we can add to our ship's hold that would help us along our way. If you can pocket things without being found out, perhaps that is a good idea. But more information for later, in case this ship comes back. We know what they have, we know the layout, and all of these sorts of things.
Captain, I have a bit of a question.
Yes.
Crew, the crew, do we want to get only cargo and contraband, or are hostages on the table as well?
Contraband for now. I think we want to play this safe. We want to play this easy. This is the main ship that comes from Marquette every 6 to 8 months. Right. So we don't want to cut off our line of supply potentially too early.
Understood.
But if something shiny were to become misplaced, who can
then
say?
Nobody's going to cry about it, right? Okay. Thank you for your time. Any questions as we move forward?
When possible, I would like to consult with Heidi about the weather. I believe I have accounted for everything, but there is a wind blowing that concerns me.
And I shall speak to the gods of the storm. Yes, let us talk about this later.
Very good. Very good. I would like you, B. Dave, as you leave and you start your process of charting a course and such, to make a wisdom survival check.
That is 15.
Okay. You think it's pretty straightforward. You guys have sailed this route very, very often, many, many times, and there's nothing new there. And you think that it'll be a fairly seamless trip. You're a little concerned about the reef. It is perilous. Typically, you circle around it, but there's obviously a reason why you're rendezvousing at the reef, because people typically avoid it.
Correction, Heidi. I am certain I have plotted the correct course, and the seas will be smooth, and the wind will be favorable.
Kijiori, I would never doubt you.
All right. Do any of the other officers want to do anything in preparation for the trip, real quick?
I'll pull the captain aside.
Yeah.
And I'll say, when you give someone like Kajuri the opportunity to steal even little pieces, he will put the entire mission in jeopardy. Are you sure that that is what we should be doing? If you put him below ship and you give him a moment to search, he will take... who knows what he'll take? I really, Captain, you know me, I will follow you to the very depths of death itself. But sometimes you trust Kajuri way more than I would.
Give me a persuasion check.
He'd be the first to walk my plank. A crit. Thank you very much. Kapow.
That is noted, Boerth. Perhaps Boerth is right. Perhaps I would say we play it safe, Kajuri. This is a first encounter with this ship. We play it safe. We be good. We mind ourselves, and we get to where we need to go safely.
Then the only thing Kajori will steal is hearts.
I
give that permission. You stole mine many moons ago, Kajori.
Oh my gosh. I live with you alone.
I live with you. I'm done with
he stays on the
No, Boerth, stay. No, stay.
No, I remember that full moon last winter. No. And I'll remove myself and giving them all the privacy they should ever possibly desire.
All right, so you guys all go up amongst your business, kind of preparing for the trip. As the officers are leaving, Snow, you were just outside the door. As you know, you are, you have the captain's ear. As being her trusted brother, you have grown up together, accomplished many cons and many heists together over the years. As she's kind of rustling through her maps, you enter her chamber.
Please, my sister. It is good to speak with you today. I have been keeping my ears open. around Dilyu, as you had asked. Nothing to report. He seems on the level. However, I have concerns about what we are doing here. I've spoken with you before about certain matters, but it's always one more thing and then another thing and then another, and it continues on this way. This object we are seeking now, is this truly the last?
Oh, my dear, dear Snow. You know how I feel. You know where my heart is. You know that we were thrust into this life, and this is the life we have made. You have always been one that has been pulled in so many directions. I will take it on good counsel. You know I respect you. You know I trust you. This item is something I have longed for some time. You know this. Let us get to Palma Florida. Let us do what we need to do. Let us ignore the dogs. And let us talk about it later.
Sister, you know more than anyone what I have done to help you to get to where you are. You know more than anyone. It has taken its toll. I have done dark things, and I don't want to do them anymore. This has to be the end, sister.
Brother, please, breathe. You see more than most do. And she puts her hand on your shoulder and she says, allow us to please do what we need to do here.
So we have done enough. We could retire in Marquette. Let us do that. Leave this life.
Listen, promise me, in Palma, Florida, we will dig our feet into the sand. We will enjoy some drinks, and we will discuss this.
Yes.
For right now, there is much to be done.
Yes, my sister. I will go.
Continue to keep your eye on the new ones, yes?
I will keep an ear sharp.
Thank you. Okay. You guys start on your journey. You sail for a number of hours. I would like Heidi to make a perception check, please, as you pilot the ship.
I can make a perception check. 14 plus 5. That will be a 19.
That is very good. You actually, as you're moving through, you start to see approaching something that appears to be debris in the water ahead of you. There's a fair amount of it, more than would typically be this far from shore, and it piques your interest. There's some barrels, some boxes, and some slabs and planks of wood that are kind of covering, I'd say like a 50-foot kind of area ahead of you in the water.
Coming at, is it like in our path? Because if it is, I will point out to the captain that we should for sure be going around that mass.
Aye, debris ho! Someone up in the crow's nest. Get some eyes on that. Let us know if it's valuable salvage or junk that we should avoid.
Dilyu, go take the crow's nest, boy.
Oh, of course, Boerth.
I'll go ahead and climb up the crow's nest, like any good carpenter should do, and attempt to get a view of the waters around us.
That's good. So you and you imagine actually that this isn't a danger. It is just scattered debris, small enough that the ship would just kind of pass through. And as you pull up aside, kind of this as you start to pull up aside, Dilyu, you climb up to the crow's nest. Shout out to WizKids for the falling star. This is the unpainted version that I painted a couple weeks in a row on our painting channel, actually. And you, with the higher vantage, give me a perception check, please.
Ooh, natural 18 puts us at 22.
22. With a 22, you see, again, a number of planks. You imagine with a 22 that these are actually remnants of a ship. Probably went down recently. And sprawled across a section of the hull, you imagine, which is some planks, is a small figure, smaller than human-sized, and is draped currently across this piece of debris that is floating in the ocean.
Okay, I immediately shout down, Boerth, there is riffraff in the water, Morrison jetson from some sort of a ship collision, but there may be a survivor. And I kind of point in the direction.
Captain, are we sure that we can take on any survivors? We've already got a lot of people who are trying to keep secrets from now. Every person we add to the ship's crew just increases the risk of us being found out.
Do I hear that, Jason? Do I hear him say that?
Give me a perception check on that as you're kind of on the other side.
15.
With a 15, you hear that. You barely hear it, but you hear it.
I'll say to the first. I'll say to the first mate. I don't care how many people we have on the ship. We don't leave somebody in the water to drown. Perhaps you'd like to trade places with him. Captain, do the riffraff.
Oh,
Yes.
Boerth, you can take that man on board, but if he finds out about us, you'll be making him walk the plank anyway. Would you rather have his blood on your hands?
I would rather not have his ghost haunt me the rest of my days.
So be it.
Slow the sails, as she yells out. And she starts to kind of bring, she commands everyone to kind of start to bring the ship a little slower alongside this scattered debris.
And I'll start preparing like a ladder, the rope ladder to go down and over.
I would like to find Dajarkal, the healer.
Okay. She is currently on the bow of the ship, kind of overlooking. Everyone's kind of come out to see what this is, and all of the yelling is.
I believe it is time for you to show us what it is you are capable of, friend healer.
Hidori, do you know any of who's out there or what's happened to their ship?
I know what you know. I calculated a brilliant course that apparently less skilled sailors did not navigate effectively, and now there is someone clinging for their life to a bit of something down there.
Well, are you bringing them in?
It seems Boerth had very strong feelings on the matter. I myself am sure they will be a welcome addition to the crew. They will have a lovely story of how they came to be on the water, I think.
Well, they must be hurt if they're still out in the water, so let me tend to them.
After you.
All right, so you go to the side of the ship here, Dajarkal, and the Pallid Elf also kind of comes out from under the deck and kind of is curious and is looking, keeping distance, and she kind of keeps to herself. She keeps quite quiet. She's kind of just looking over at what's going on. Who is trying to retrieve this person? You said Boerth is, correct? And so you climb down the ladder, and you're kind of hanging onto the side of the ladder on the ship here, which it should go in here. And you kind of you attempt one of these kind of like one-armed sort of grabs for it, as it is just on the edge. And does anybody want to help him?
Not that much help, but during this lead up to this commotion, I would like to take the chance to scramble up to the crow's nest and have my short bow ready just in case anything comes out of the water besides this stranded person.
Okay, so you climb up the rigging, no problem, and you're up on the crow's nest on the other mast, up opposite of where Dilyu is. You can give me a perception check as well. Yeah.
I am not perceiving anything. Apparently, the sun's right in my eyes. I rolled a 1.
Okay. You actually, as you kind of go in there, you do catch a gaze of sun. I'd like you to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Oh, great. Well, fortunately, I don't know if it's that fortunate. I got an 11.
All right. You actually, because you're a little disoriented, you're just getting your sea legs under you, and you managed to grab onto the mast at the last minute, but it's one of those, like, foot slipped off the side, and you're like, oh, that was close.
All right, I'll roll into the crow's nest and catch my breath before I pop up with my short bow.
Okay. All right. All right. I'd like Boerth, you to make a strength athletics check, please, to try and scoop up this.
I got a 20, dirty 20.
Okay. With a dirty 20, you have no problem kind of grabbing this creature. And as you get really close to it, you notice that it is covered in black feathers.
Black feathers? Like
yes.
as if it is a feathered creature, or it's
yes.
tarred?
No, no, like it's a feathered creature, and it has a beak on its face. It looks a lot like a raven or a crow, but in a humanoid form. Can you give me a nature check?
I rolled a 19, so what is that? Wisdom based or intelligence?
Intelligence.
That is a 21.
Yeah, with a 21, you've heard of Kancko before,
Okay.
and you imagine this is actually what that is.
Copy that. Okay. I mean, that doesn't change the way I feel about rescuing this creature from the depths. So I'll reach down and try to scoop up his winged or her winged arm.
Yep. Good. Okay. And you with that strength athletics score, you have no problem doing that. Joel, if you could introduce what your character looks like. This Kancko seems quite exhausted and is worse for wear given his current circumstance. And if you can give a bit of a description there, Joel.
Yes. So I am about 4 feet, 3 inches tall. Looks like I weigh approximately 80 pounds. Long beak, cloaked, but with a leather belt. And kind of a tunic more than a long cloak, right? It kind of goes down to just above my knees, so it's at my thighs. On my back is a backpack and the smallest you've ever seen, piccolo lute. And it's hanging there, and I'm clutching it at this point. It seems to be the thing that I care the most about in life is this loot. So that's what you see.
All right. And you scoop up this little creature in your arms, Boerth, in one arm. You strong arm it, and you basically just football carry it up the ladder onto the deck.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure I grab that loot to make sure it doesn't fall into the ocean.
Yep.
As he tries to touch the loot with whatever life I still have in my body, I clutch it closer so he can't grab it.
I'll say, "No, Kancko, I will do nothing to harm it. I will make sure it is safe." I don't know if he's convulsing or what, but I hold him a little tighter to make him feel secure in my big, strong arms. On second thought, I drop it into the ocean. I do not want to travel with this creature. I take everything back. Davy Jones' locker.
I thought you had a sweet bone in your body, but I guess I was wrong.
Dajarkal, as this Kancko is brought up, I'd like you to make a medicine check, please.
Okay. 17.
All right. With a 17, dehydration has set in. This creature has been hours in the water, if not close to, days potentially. Somewhat emaciated, definitely dehydrated, and not necessarily injured, just really exhausted.
Okay. I need everybody clear the space, clear space. Give us some room, please. I need somebody to fetch some water, somebody else to fetch some food, and somebody please bring some blankets.
I'll be on blankets.
Anybody else?
Don't just get blankets, get all three.
I
cannot heal you from the top of the crow's nests. Perhaps you need my help. And I climb down.
We need water, food, and blankets, please.
I'll get food, I suppose.
The pallid yells out and said, the pallid elf in the back says, I can get some blankets if you like.
Perfect. Just hurry up.
And she kind of rushes down, and everybody kind of rushes. A couple moments pass. You gather what you need to make sure that it's okay. I'd like you to make what would you like to do at this point? You're kind of trying to help it.
Yeah, I'm just saying to the Kancko, can you hear me? Can you understand what I'm saying? Is that...
Yes.
Are you hurt anywhere? What's your name?
I pull out as I'm clutching the loot. I just have enough strength to do a couple little notes. Help! I need somebody. Help! Not just anybody. Help! You know I need someone. Help! And then I retreat a little bit.
Introducing the first cover band, Kancko.
That was beautiful, but I don't know if this is or ever is the time to do something like that. Are you injured?
Help!
Okay, so checking him out.
Are you injured?
Yeah, with that medicine check, it seems as though it's hurt its ankle in the midst of getting and escaping it. It wouldn't take a lot to mend it, but more than anything, it just needs rest.
Okay. So looking into my kit, I'm just going to tend to his ankle before sending him into a room finding a quarter for him.
Okay. Are you healing his ankle or are you just medicining it?
Medicine.
Okay. So, just give me one more medicine check on that. Yeah, B-Dave?
While all this is happening, I would like to sleight of hand to slip a flower into the Pallid Elf's Poe. I don't know what she's wearing, but I want to smuggle her a flower. Sleight of hand.
Okay, give me a sleight of hand check.
That's a 24.
Nice. With a 24, no problem. She's wearing kind of like an overcoat, kind of made of silk, flowery in color, perhaps a bit of a Hawaiian motif, as it were. And you managed to slip that flower. You don't want her to know that, right? You're dropping it and.
After I do it, I wait a beat and I'm like, that is a lovely flower, but not as lovely as you.
Can I make a check against his sleight of hand?
You're actually not really over there right now. You're kind of focused on if the sleight of hand wasn't so high, I'd give you a. What's your passive perception actually?
Yes, thank you. I rolled a 4.
Yeah, no. So no, you don't notice it. All right. As you do that, she kind of turns towards you. She says, "Who, me?"
Yes, of course. I realize everybody is going to and fro, saving this delightful tiny bird creature, but I've realized the most fascinating thing on the deck currently to me is you.
Why, thank you. That is very, very sweet. Never had somebody speak to me like that before.
I am Kajori. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking to?
My name is Zilna. It's very nice to meet you.
I do the most elaborate, flourishing bow I'm capable of. Like I'm meeting a queen. Yeah. Could you tell me what her name was again? Sorry, so I can write
Zilna.
that down. Okay.
Zylna.
That is
Z.
That's a big old 11, so slightly above average.
Yeah.
But I did try.
But yeah, you felt like you gave it a good go.
Mm-hmm. The ship, it is rocking. This sees a little tough.
Yeah. You could tell that she kind of gets the idea of what this is. And she kind of smiles and kind of nods in your direction, and then she walks off in another direction. She kind of looks back at you. She's flattered, but you're not quite sure if that's a net that is going to come back with a catch or not.
Yeah, that is all right. We have a long vessel ride to play my charm. Eh? I let her go. I do not chase. Kajori is not thirsty, as the people say. Only the Kancko bird is thirsty.
Yeah.
Man, if I had a nickel every time B-Dave slipped me the flower.
I never say no, Matthew Mercer. I never say no.
That's good. All right, so you guys settle the Kancko in. for a rest, and the sun starts to set over the Lucidian Ocean and over the Wave Chaser. It is the evening. You all are below decks. Joel, you have had an opportunity to kind of rest at this point, and you were all kind of sitting amongst the hold where most of the crew hangs out. That's where stories are told and drinks are had, and you have some time amongst yourselves to do whatever you would like to do ahead of arriving where you are in the next day or so.
Dilyu would be in his quarters. Probably not engaging yet, but actually no, he'd probably be on the outskirts of any sort of socializing that's happening, with a couple of blocks of soft wood and just slowly whittling, just on his own.
So Heidi is keeping watch over the deck of the ship from the forecastle, from by the helm, and she sees Dilyu separate himself from the rest of the crew, and her eyes kind of narrow and track him as he crosses the ship. And so she steps down from the helm and walks over to where he is and says, "Aye, so, Dilyu."
First mate.
Welcome aboard the Wave Chaser, for one thing. What brought you onto this ship, my good friend?
And honestly, a need for work. Quite soon, a lot of the industrial work just doesn't befit my skill set. And, as a sea elf, I find myself a little more useful on the water. So, I'm young. I figured that I'd at least give my hand at some shipping and being aboard a vessel, and this was the first to take me.
That's good. I'm glad that you found your sea legs, such as they were. I know that Boerth can be a bit much sometimes, so I hope you'll be all right, even with him as your commanding officer.
I appreciate that. I've handled a few larger folk in my time. I think he's a good head on his shoulders, if a bit blunt with his delivery of such instruction, but I can handle it.
Right. My friend, I just want to give you a bit of a warning, and she looks at him very sternly. I'm the first mate of this ship, and that means I watch out for the captain. Be sure that you don't do anything that would endanger the safety of this crew, this ship, or Captain Three Earrings. Do you get me?
The brief moment of the first mate's opening up to me, that kind of softness immediately falls away to what would be a pale teal color on Dilyu's faces. Of course, I would never dream of it.
All right. I hope we get to Palma Flora all ship shape. And she gives him this very steely look, and then turns on her heel and walks away.
Slowly keeps whittling while keeping one eye on the first mate. Little sweat drop on the brow.
Some of the other crew begin to break into song as the spirits start to kind of lighten amongst the voyage. And this awakes you, Plunkrawk. You have been resting for some time. You're feeling a bit better. Your level of exhaustion has gone. And it kind of draws you out of where the room that you were in that actually doubles as a brig and as a guest quarters.
Okay, so I'll walk over to my nearest neighbor, someone who's nearby.
Yeah, as you come right out of the hold, one of them is actually one of the other crew members, and it is a burly gentleman with a scraggly gray beard. It may have bits of food in it still, and he's kind of just sitting there with his ale, and you can see he's kind of swaying a little bit.
Okay, so I'm going to. It's going to sound so strange, but the way I speak is a mixture of melodies from songs, all of the songs that I've ever heard. So I go up to him and I go, "Hi, hello. I am trying to I don't know what to do. How did you get here?
He turns to you and goes, I got here just like last, are you a bird?
Yes. Je suis un oiseau, a bird. I am a Plunkrawk. That's my name. Plunkrawk.
Kind of looks at you, puzzled, quizzically. Never seen anything like you. Kind of actually like closes its eyes and rubs his eyes like he's not sure what he's seeing. You're a talking bird. I've never seen one of you before. Hey, check this out, guys! And he yells out to the rest of the crew, and all of you guys kind of hear this, and you turn around, and here's this little Kancko holding this little piccolo, and the whole room is now focused on you.
Okay. I turn to everyone and go, say something. Say something.
I'll walk up, and I'll say, Plunkrawk, is it?
Plunkrawk, is it? And I do a perfect imitation of him. Plunkrawk, is it?
Verleigh,
And I turn to someone else. Say something.
Where are you from?
Where are you from?
Oh, so we're not answering questions. Okay.
Can you play that?
Say something.
Or do you just carry it?
You're awful cute.
You're awful cute.
Noura, can I get a nature check from you?
Sure.
Dilyu looks quizzically on as he whittles some wood, I think is what he's doing.
14.
Yeah. With a 14, you've heard of Kancko before. You've never seen one. You've never actually been with one or talked with one, but you know that this is what this is, and you actually do now recall that they mimic very, very well, just like a crow would, and you're kind of putting those two, or a raven would, and you're kind of putting those two together.
Oh, okay. So yeah, he's just gonna mimic you guys and not. Maybe he'll say something, but it's mostly just gonna be whatever we're saying repeated back.
Dune
Isn't that
aquatic.
right?
Yes, Dune aquatic. Dune aquatic. What was my ship? Dune aquatic was my ship.
B. Dave?
When the opportunity presents itself, Kajori would like to find Snow.
Okay. Snow is in a back corner, kind of hanging out. You have had dinner at this point. He's kind of finished his duties for the evening and is kind of leaned up against one of the crates in the back, kind of surveying the room.
My friend, you have outdone yourself again. The way you apply the spice to the crab meat is magnifique. Yes.
Thank you, of course. I have a wonderful palate. And you also do. Thank you.
I just wanted to give you the update, and I proceed to describe in excruciating detail everything I've seen, how the Kancko looks, how the Pallid Elf looks, how beautiful the sky is. I just tell him everything, probably in more detail than he might even want to hear.
My friend, I enjoy speaking with you. You are my eyes. You tell me the beauty of the world, and I can only imagine it. I thank you for filling me with such beauty as you see.
I felt like it is a fair trade. You fill my mouth with the beauty of all the taste sensations. I will fill your mind with the beauty of the things I can perceive.
My friend, I appreciate you so dearly. Now tell me more about this bird thing that you have found. It sounds like a very annoying creature.
Come. I realize that you move like a cat and you do not trip over the things, but here, I will guide you closer to our bird friend here. Friend bird, do not panic. A very large cat person is coming your direction. I do bring Snow over towards Plunkrawk.
Thank you, my friend Kajori. Your name is Plunkrawk?
Plunkrawk.
Yes, okay. Now, from what I have heard, you're very annoying, and I can tell by being here now and speaking with you, I can already sense that I would be annoyed by you. Are you answering questions? Oh my goodness! Now that is a talent.
Now that is a talent.
I am an idiot.
I am an idiot.
Yes, it worked.
Yes, it worked.
Where do we go from here? Now, are you answering questions? Yes or no? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. The name of your ship was, again?
Dune Aquatic.
Dune Aquatic. Does anybody know the ship? Anyone?
The captain actually just stepped in during all of this, and she says, "The Dune Aquatic. How do you know that name?"
Well, this bird fellow over here has spoken of it. Apparently that was his ship.
She kind of walks over and she says, "You were aboard the Dune Aquatic."
Yes.
The ship from Marquette.
Yes.
That is not the one that sank.
Yes.
No.
No.
But you were once aboard that ship. Is that correct?
Yes.
Interesting. What can you tell me about that ship?
Work on ship. Work on ship. Work on ship. Play games for the crew. Work on ship. Play games with the crew.
Get the feeling we're not going to get very far here.
No. Not very far here.
Welcome aboard. And as she kind of turns and she starts walking, and as she walks by you, Heidi, she says, perhaps this is going to be good for us when we bring back one of their own.
It could be good, but don't say anything incriminating. Ha.
Of course.
I am sure they would be grateful. Of course.
Can I say when all of this is happening, I want to try to sneak into his backpack to see like what personal items I could find, what any clue to what kind of person he is, who he associates with.
Yeah. Joel, how far is your backpack right now? Where are you keeping it?
I generally keep it with me, like with me.
Okay.
On
so
you?
it's
You're
on
wearing it?
It's on my back.
All right. So I'll try to just walk behind and just.
Okay. Yeah, give me a sleight of hand check.
All right.
What's your passive perception?
It is. Sorry about that. 13.
Sorry, what'd you roll, Nora?
I rolled a 16 plus. Is it sleight of hand?
Yeah.
17.
Yeah, you have no problem starting to kind of dig through. If anybody else has a passive perception higher than 17, which I'm assuming you don't, then you may notice this as well. But she's doing a pretty good job of kind of pretending like she's behind him, kind of petting his head or whatever, and then you're able to slip through. Do you want to reveal what's in your pack to Nora, Joel?
I currently have like a kit, like an adventurer's kit. Looks pretty, run-of-the-mill water skin, rations, a disguise kit, you notice, and a costume.
Okay. Sorry, Boerth, you said you wanted to say something?
Yeah, no, I was looking for a perception check because if I saw her trying to get into his backpack,
yeah.
I would jump in, but I didn't see it.
Okay. Is there anything else anybody else wants to do? Kind of this. Oh,
sorry, Jason. If it goes on for long,
yeah,
and I catch it, then I'm gonna stop it.
Okay. All right. At this point, Nora, you've gone pretty much as far as you can without you getting noticed. If you want to keep going, you'll have to do another investigation check. Sleight of hand.
Oh.
Sorry.
If I have time to, I can.
You want to dig? Do you want to take anything from it, or do you want to just find out what's in it?
No, I just want to see what's in it.
Yeah, you've already seen everything that you can.
Okay. Then no, I'm good.
Okay. Is there anything else anybody wants to do this evening before you guys kind of turn in?
Yes.
One thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I approach our gnomish friend, and I'm like, I've heard many tales of your capabilities, my friend. I was looking forward to the performance. I apologize that our new kink bird friend seems to have taken many of the eyes, but I would appreciate anything that you would like to share with us.
Oh, I'm sorry, was that to me?
Well, that was to Luke. I thought Luke was a gnome. Sorry.
Halfling.
Halfling, sorry.
Yeah, so
they're all so
he's
small.
muted.
I cannot tell the tiny people. They all look the same to me.
You're muted, Luke. Just
that's
for the record.
that's why I was confused. Okay.
Yes, I was muted. I'm a halfling, not a gnome. Smaller gnome.
Sorry, that is who I am approaching. Sorry.
Well, it's such a pleasure. Thank you for speaking to me. I would have loved to have had that strange bird play his lute, so I could have done some tumbling and dancing. But perhaps I can entertain you with a little sleight of hand. I didn't know that you had these handkerchiefs in your pocket. And I'll pull out a bunch of handkerchiefs from out of his pocket.
I look absolutely dumbfounded, and I'm like, I did not know I had handkerchiefs in my pocket. Wow, that is incredible.
And I'll give him a flourish, and I'll say, I admit there's much more there, and we'll gather and I'll entertain everyone tomorrow. But it's getting late. Perhaps we should get to bed.
Hey, Snow, you should have seen. He reached in my pocket and I had handkerchiefs. Like, I very much go tell him, quite literally, what happened.
It sounded amazing.
I would like to do something before we turn in.
Go ahead.
I would like to go on deck and see if I find a bird. Not the Kancko bird, a bird.
Yeah, and again, as the caravel, you tend to sail fairly close to the shore, a safe distance, of course. But give me a perception check, and then once you can do that, then I'm going to need you to do an animal handling check.
So that's a dirty 20.
Nice.
And then animal handling.
Yeah.
Ooh, that is a 13.
Okay, so you do see some gulls that are kind of circling above. You take out some bread and crumbs left from dinner. There are a couple crew members that are obviously watching above deck, and they kind of watch while you guys are relaxing. And you manage to coax a gull to come a little closer, lands on the deck, and starts to kind of pick at the crumbs.
Okay. Without looking very conspicuous, I would like to cast Animal Messenger.
Okay. All right.
And I tell the bird to look for Commander with a red braided beard.
Okay.
In a blue doored tavern in Nicodranus.
Okay.
And then I have the message for him.
Okay. And then the gull takes off. Very good. All right. You, anybody else?
I'm just going to be wandering about and trying to be somewhat stealthy. If I see, especially the crew officers gathering and talking, I would like to use stealth to creep up to a position where I can listen in and eavesdrop a little bit. I'm curious.
Okay. Give me a stealth check. As you're trying to kind of move around. And typically in these nights, people start to play games. Boerth loves games of chance, so he typically, starts to throw some dice or go ahead. Sorry.
Simply speaking to him, getting in a game of dice and speaking to him and attempting to, just through casual conversation, ask a little bit about their business and where they've sailed, and use a bit of investigation perhaps to see if I can notice any holes in their story or things like that.
Okay. All right. Is there anybody specifically you want to try and target for this?
I'd like to actually speak to all the officers at one point or another, but I think Boerth seems a little bit more gruff. I suspect that he's a little slower mentally, so that may be the easiest.
That's just Matt, Luke. That's just.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, that's good. All right. Well, you make your way around, and you're not gleaning a lot of conversation or a lot of points from conversation around under here, except that you actually overheard Kajori kind of spilling the beans a little bit with Snow a little earlier. You've also noticed that you're new to the ship, and Snow being blind, people tend to ignore him as if he's not there. But you imagine that he hears quite a bit, and so that's another potential point of interest.
Well, Snow is also the cook, so
yes.
I definitely want to ingratiate myself to the cook.
Yeah.
Because, I like to be well fed.
Of course. And you notice, too, that his fur is cut in very weird angles. Some of it is shaved down to the scalp almost. Some of it is a little longer on certain parts. Give me a perception check on that, please.
17.
At first, it appears like maybe he wasn't great at grooming himself. And then you realize that there's a bit of a pattern to it. It almost seems a bit more intentional than just a bad haircut, a bad fur cut.
This is a marking of rank of some kind, maybe like a nobility or...
not that necessarily. You imagine it serves some kind of purpose, but you're not sure what.
Well, when I have an opportunity, I'd like to ask.
You can do that right now if you like.
No, I've noticed, I thought perhaps not having your vision, you had trimmed your hair in an odd way, but I see it's quite carefully styled. What, does that have some meaning amongst your people?
No meaning for my people, no. Meaning for me, yes. You see, when I cut down to the skin, when I leave some parts long, I can feel the movement of the air. It makes me much more accurate in combat.
I see. That's very interesting. I bet, I wonder, do many people underestimate you simply because you've lost your sight? Because you seem to be very capable.
I'm able to get around. I'm very familiar with this ship. That's all I really need to know. This is my life. I do this simply so that if I need it, I have it. That is all.
I've watched you move, and you seem to know where everything is, and I was wondering how that was, or if it was just purely memory, but I don't think
memory, yes. I count my paces. You may see the odd place with my claw mark on the wall where I was getting to know where things are. Just dragging my fingers and so on.
Oh, very clever. How did you, is that your relative who's the captain?
Yes. Yeah, I'm sure you can see the resemblance. We have a very similar pattern to our coat. Yes, she is my sister.
Oh, excellent. And how long have you guys been on the ship? It's very curious. I thought that perhaps this is, I don't know, I didn't think the Tabaxi liked the water particularly.
Personally, I do not, but my sister is quite the swimmer. We've been on here for a number of years, yes. We started from the bottom and worked our way up. Well, she worked her way up. I stopped at cook.
Cook is very important. Well, perhaps if you ever need an extra hand, I'm a pretty good in the kitchen, and I do like to eat, so it'd be my pleasure.
I will take it under advisement. Of course, it is not up to me to make these decisions. You must speak to, well, perhaps one of the quartermasters, if not my sister directly. Maybe the first mate.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. The first mate looks a little gruff, though, so I'll stay away from her and the bosun. I'll talk to Kajori.
Certainly. Wonderful to speak with you. And if I could ask about yourself, where are you from?
Oh, here and there. I've been mostly traveling all my life. Like I said, I'm an entertainer. I never keep an address for long. You have to keep a fresh audience in order to keep the wagons full and your tummy full as well. So that's why I'm here, working my way across to strike into new territory.
Oh, of course. This makes absolute sense. I understand. And what will you be doing on the ship this time?
Well, I'm fairly nimble, as I said. I can certainly help with the rigging and sails, and I'd be, if that's all taken care of in interim time, I'd be more than happy to learn from you. I've tasted some of the meals that you prepared; they're excellent. So it'd be my pleasure if I could be your assistant here, if that's possible, and whatever other odds and ends that need doing. Although I think Dilyu's been quite good at swabbing the decks, amongst other things.
Of course. I'm very impressed with Dilyu myself. Not that my opinion means anything. But I will speak to Heidi, and perhaps she will be okay with you working with me in the kitchen.
Oh, that would be excellent. Well, I'll leave you be, knuckle my forehead and make my way out.
All right.
Okay. Cool.
Do I see him sort of looking for conversation? Is there anything suspicious about this halfling wandering around and striking up conversation? Did I hear any of that with Snow?
Yeah, so you're you do see him kind of walking around, and he's making his rounds, and he's having conversation. He is new to the ship. Give me an insight check, though.
Oh, I can't wait. 6. I'm pretty drunk, but I suspect a lot.
Would I also be able to make an insight on that too?
Yeah, sure.
All right. It's a dirty 20.
Okay. Yeah, you feel like he's prodding, but you get the sense. I mean, actually, Luke, with a dirty 20, what do you think Snow would surmise from kind of your intent?
That I'm certainly curious about what they're doing, but more than I'm trying to be friendly and find an easy gig on the ship, because I don't really like to work. Obviously, I'm dodging questions about my past and where I'm from, so perhaps I'm looking to put some distance between me and something that's what I would guess someone would surmise from that.
Okay. All right. What did you roll, Matt?
I rolled a 6. It's not really going to do me any good. But I look at him cross-eyed as he's walking around and trying to pick up information. I can see it.
Yeah.
I can't call him out on it because I rolled really poorly, but I can see it.
Yeah. Right. You're having a hard time putting your finger on his intentions, but he's obviously curious.
Dodgy.
Yeah.
Real dodgy.
Just a halfling's curiosity.
No.
Would Boerth and I have had conversations to this nature in the past?
That's up to you guys.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
we both seem to be paying attention to the same things. So maybe I'll pop over to Boerth and I'll say, we should keep an eye on that one. Probably harmless, but not offering a whole lot of information in return for what he gets.
And as far as I can see, he doesn't do enough on the ship. He can find himself on land quicker than not. He is relatively useless with a lot of questions. And given your sister's edict today to keep a secret, he's poking the wrong proverbial bear.
I agree.
All right, together we will work, Snow. Watch that one. Dodgy, Dilyu, and that one. The
Absolutely.
And real shade.
And the Kancko.
And the Kancko. Why are we on this boat? Let's get off this boat. Everyone is shady.
That's so funny. Okay, at that point, the captain comes in and says, all right, all of you, I know you're having a good time, but we have a long day tomorrow. So perhaps we will get some rest, yes? I need you at your best. And it's getting pretty late into the evening.
Yeah, I'll take first watch, Captain.
Aye. Thank you very much. Okay. You go up to the top deck, and you guys set up kind of a watch schedule that is typical for what you typically do on a daily basis. In the middle of the night, though, as you folks are sleeping, Snow, you're having a hard time kind of getting to rest. For some reason, this night in particular, you're just feeling a bit restless. You get up and start to kind of walk the halls a little bit to try and walk off some of this unease. And you hear movement in the hold. And again, you hear things that others typically don't, not depending on sight as much as others would, or not at all. And you head down to the hold. And in that moment, you actually give me a perception check, please.
Could that be with advantage by chance, or so it was a natural one?
Oh dear. So you actually are kind of you walk down. You did hear movement, but in your kind of desire to kind of surmise what's going on, you stub your foot on a crate that wasn't there before, that somebody had moved into your path, the typical path that you take through the hold. As you do, you kind of yell out. When you do yell out, though, you hear on the left side of the room, you hear, and then on the right, you hear.
Okay, can I make out what the sound was?
Insight.
11.
No, but you can tell by the movement of the air in here when it happened that something has shifted space. Something that took up space on the left now takes up space on the right of you.
Okay.
And you know this hold well. You know how it feels. The dust is fairly thick in here. And there shouldn't really be anybody down here at this time.
All right. So I imagine there's something on the right side of me?
Yes. About maybe you surmise anywhere from 5 to 20 feet. You're having a hard time with depth perception right now.
All right. Do I smell anything out of place?
With that score, I'd say you smell the hint of what you know to be makeup. It's very, very faint. But you have traded. The ship has traded in makeup before, and you've been able to catch that scent.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna follow my nose as Toucan Sam would do, and
hey, I take that personally.
As you should, sir. As you should. So, I'll follow it to the best of my ability. Any developments as I'm moving forward? Kind of poking around a bit with my quarterstaff as I go.
Once again, you hear as you get close and to the left of you, behind you.
Right.
Like something is moving around the hold.
Okay. Do I get the sense that it's not natural movement?
Yeah, you get the sense that it is not natural movement.
I know that you are here. There is no point in you hiding from me further. Perhaps you can come out and speak.
Perception check. Oh, sorry, persuasion, not perception.
Persuasion. 5. I'm really good at this.
No, that's okay. She rolled less.
Okay.
She says, "It is I." And you recognize the voice as Zilna, the Pallet Elf.
Zilna?
Yes, it is me.
What are you doing here?
Taking some time to process through some feelings and thoughts, and just taking some time to myself. It's hard to be around people this long.
Well, this is a good place for that, but I must warn you, sometimes we get rats down here, and they can get a bit bitey.
Yes.
Yes, there are some other places on the ship I can show you if you seek solitude.
Give me an insight check real quick.
Sure. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna roll a different die. That's a 10.
With a 10, even with a 10, you can sense the nervousness and the shakiness in her voice.
Right.
You can also hear the creak on the boards, on the planks, as she kind of shifts nervously as she's talking to you. And you get the sense that she's not being completely honest.
Zona, is there something you would like to tell me?
No. Why do you ask?
Because I am certain that you are not comfortable right now.
I'm fine.
I don't believe you. Talk to me. You know you can trust me.
Persuasion check.
All right. That could also be deception.
Yeah, you tell me.
Well, it's a 7, so I don't know if it's gonna do it.
Jeez, dude.
The new
You
die
need to
is
put
not
some
working.
die in jail.
You know, I need a certain spinner die, is what I need.
Yes, you do.
You absolutely you get this again. With the 7, it's really hard to tell. She's doing a good job of deceiving, or at least not being incredibly forthcoming.
Certainly.
She says, "Please, don't tell the captain I'm down here. I just needed some time to myself. I like to keep to myself, and I'll be off the ship soon."
Certainly, I understand. Now, the captain and I are very close, and I keep nothing from her.
I know. Please, keep this between us. I prefer for... Like I said, I'll be off soon. I'll be out of your hair, and it won't be... And you can tell there's stress in her voice.
Listen, calm down. Take a breath. Hold it, and just let it out slow. You will be fine. Listen to my voice. I am a friend to you. I'm not here to hurt you. What could I possibly do? Look at me. Look at the way people treat me. How could I hurt you? Listen. I am all ears. Just tell me what is wrong.
Just for your role play, I'm going to give it to you.
Thank you.
You can tell she leans in a little bit. She says, "How long have you been blind?"
My entire life. I was born this way. Some accident in the womb, they say.
If I told you that you could see again, or not again, for the first time ever, if I could teach you how to potentially do that, would you maybe please keep this to yourself?
First of all, I would call you a liar. People who promise such things never deliver.
I can.
How?
And you feel her from in front of you and behind you. And you hear her voice behind you. She says, "I have picked up a gift. It was taught to me from where I'm from. I can create what most would call an echo of myself. Through that echo, given time and practice, it pulls an essence or a state of you from another time, another potential reality, a reality in which you may have been able to see."
Is this true?
I can teach you. I can't tell you it'll be a success. I can't tell you that you will learn quick enough to, in the time that we have left, but perhaps if we spend some time together, I can at least tell you how to start the process of learning how to do what I can do. I cannot yet look through my echo, but perhaps with time you may.
I understand. I've tried to learn magic before. I don't have the knack. If this is magic, it's a waste of time for me.
Promise you that it's not quite that complicated. In the sense, it comes from an essence of understanding and being able to pull. It's not magical in nature necessarily. Give me the time. Give me the time. Keep our secret.
Time is something I have plenty of. And a secret I could share with you.
Thank you.
I have been unhappy of late. I would appreciate the company.
Then I will join you tomorrow at breakfast.
After breakfast, perhaps.
Okay, I can do that.
Time
is all I have on this ship until we reach Palma Flora.
Then I will devote to you every second that I have. And I hope that your word is good.
And yours too.
We will see.
Okay. With that, you all head to bed. You guys go through your regular watch cycle. And at that point, we're going to take a quick break. Bio break for everybody on the stream. And we'll be back maybe in 10 minutes or so. We only have an hour left. So we'll be right back, everybody. Don't go anywhere. Again, make sure that whatever channel you're watching on, we are live on the GaryCon Twitch. We are live on the D&D Twitch. We are also live on the RealmSmith Twitch. We would love your follow and we love your subscription. So choose your channel of choice and do so, and help us all out a little bit during this difficult time. It's fun to do this, but it takes resources for all of us to do this. So thank you. Thank you, guys. We'll be right back.
All right, see you in a little bit.
Hello, everyone. I am behind ships here. Masts. All kinds of masts. I'm going to go on this side of them. Welcome to the second half of our Tides of Wildemount prologue. Again, this is the precursor for our Tides of Wildemount campaign that will be launching April 6th. That is a week from this Monday, which we're super, super excited about and thrilled to be playing with all these wonderful folks in the stream currently, all of which you might recognize. All right, so you guys have a good night's sleep. You guys get through all of the cycle of your watch. You start to make your way towards your spicy rendezvous to pick up spice, Fusaka to be specifically accurate, and you end up navigating your way towards the Mother's Sigh Reef. As the navigator, I would like Kajori, and I would also like Heidi to make survival checks, please.
That is 14 from me, unless I have any modifiers.
Yeah. No. Well, sir, if you have any for survival, yeah.
Right.
But if not,
I mean, beyond my own, like circumstantial modifiers.
No. Yeah, no, yeah. Heidi? James?
Didn't hear you on that.
Sorry. Survival check.
17 on the die, plus 3 from wisdom, dirty 20.
Okay. Ooh. Very nice. You, as you approach the reef, you actually manage to navigate it the way that you feel that you need to in order to not bring any damage to the ship. You have sailed it before, but not often, and it is not a preferred route. But obviously, this exchange is something that you guys don't want any sort of scrutiny over. In the distance, you start to see an incoming ship. Ship more or less the size of a sailing ship, almost like 1.5 times the size of yours, which is obviously used for much longer travel than yours is designed to be for. The captain yells out, "All right, prepare the ship. It is approaching. I see them." And at that moment, you guys all spring to action. As described by the captain earlier, she says that you have to lower the rowboat into the water, and you will cross in the rowboat. And she has chosen the 8 of you to go to be the ones that go over to gather what is necessary for bringing back. She will remain on the ship with the rest of the crew to kind of man it and make sure that everything kind of stays kosher on this side of things. As you guys kind of start to meet, things start to slow, sails start to be furled, and you guys start to kind of coast in between each other, not getting too close. The sea is fairly calm at this point, but obviously getting too close might be a bad state of affairs. So you're maintaining kind of a 30-foot distance between ships at this point as you start to kind of come in. I would like Heidi and Boerth actually to make perception checks, please, as you start to...
Aye, that's a natural 1, Captain. I'm giving her all she's got.
You're super focused on navigating and piloting the ship through the reef, and so you're not really paying too much attention to this other ship.
I had 19. I got it covered.
Yeah, with a 19, Boerth, you recognize, obviously, the construction of this ship is very Marquesian in nature. You can tell that it's seen many voyages. It's fairly... I'd say beaten up, but well maintained, as it were. It's rough around the edges and has seen lots of work, but it appears to have been kind of lovingly maintained throughout this. But it's definitely of Marquesian nature.
As we're going across, I just want to scan the deck to see if anyone's got a boat trained on us, or if there's a sort of a caster. Who's in the crow's nest? Just give us a lay of the land of what we can see on up top.
Absolutely. So as you kind of you're approaching, you're not quite. You're maybe about 100 feet out at this point, so you're not quite crossing yet. But on deck, you do see at this point, from what you can see, is you see that there are 2 crew members, silhouettes of crew members on the bow, And then there are also 2 crew members on the back of the ship as well. As it stands right now at the trajectory that you're coming at, you see that. You do see that there is one person in the crow's nest kind of keeping an eye on things ahead as well. But they're kind of standing there. They do not seem to be in any way, shape, or form hostile right now.
Okay. I'll say to Dilyu, stay near me. I want to keep an eye on you.
You want to keep an eye on me and not them?
Well, them I'm already worried about. You, I'm only half worried about. Stay close.
Very well, of course. I'll go ahead and load my light crossbow and just keep it at the side. Just in case.
Okay, so if you guys can all kind of tell me where you want to be on the ship currently. This is the view of your ship. Obviously, we have the forecastle and the quarterdeck being the back, forecastle being the front, the bow and the aft, and then the main deck below. There are 2 crow's nests, of course. So you guys can kind of let me know. Heidi is obviously piloting the ship, so she is at the helm, which is up above. Where do the rest of you want to be?
Could I have a point of clarification? Do either their ship or our ship have any visible cannons?
No, not that you can see.
And where is the boat from our ship going to be going? Where are we loading into that boat?
Yeah, so it seems like it's built fairly similarly that way to you, where you would you'd basically board it on the side. There is kind of a built-in wooden ladder that you would climb once you get your boat over there, the rowboat over there.
Okay, so I'm going to be focusing on getting the boat into the water.
Yep.
Preparing it to go to the other ship.
Okay, you'll need some help with that.
I'll be helping Boerth.
Okay. All right. And there's a bit of a hoist that's kind of connected to a network of pulleys and such that you're able to kind of hoist this rowboat up when you get to the point where you're prepared. You guys are now about 50 feet from the other ship. 50 feet off the bow. Plunkrawk, where do you want to be? I can't hear you. You're muted, but...
Sorry, I would like to be with the person who is the furthest away from all of the others. So a solo person is kind of where I want to be.
Okay. So right now, kind of everybody's kind of on the side and the back, kind of waiting to approach. So I'll put you back in the aft, in the back corner of the ship. Dilyu is currently helping Boerth. You guys kind of have it over the side. Where do you want to be, Dajarkal?
So up on the helm, would I have a better vantage point of what I can see without being up too high?
So the helm, in the back, so in the aft of the ship, the bow would be the best place that you can get a good vantage at this point of what's coming, if that's where you want to be.
Yes, that's where I'd like to be.
Okay. Verleigh?
Well, the captain wanted me to actually go into the other ship, so I can't go up in the crow's nest, but I'll lurk by the mast to use that as a way to hopefully disguise my whereabouts and stay stealthy until I want to move to the rowboat.
Okay. I mean, if you want to be in the crow's nest, it will be a little bit of time until they're able to kind of hoist a boat into the water.
And in that case, yes, I'll climb on up there, and once the boat go in the water, I'll come down.
Forward or aft mast?
The aft mast, I think that's going to get me closer to the other vessel and with the best line of sight.
Okay. Okay. And then Snow?
So I'm going to be, as always for these things, I'll be armed and ready for combat, but I will be out of sight just beyond the door that heads below decks.
Okay.
And Jay, if you could put me, if I see Verleigh going up to the crow's nest, can I follow?
Sure you can.
Yeah.
Follow behind, and you're standing with Verleigh on the crow's nest. Okay. The ships now are passing each other, and you can see across. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry, bud.
I'm where I'm supposed to be, like always.
Sorry.
Once we actually begin the transfer, I'm going to stay with our cargo. I never let our cargo leave my sight.
Okay.
But on the approach, I'm describing everything to Snow, especially because I know he doesn't know their ship.
Right.
I'm like, I believe the deck is roughly 80 paces across. I see 4 men. One of them is walking a bit of a limp, I think. Just like stream of consciousness of everything I'm seeing.
It's awesome.
Okay, cool. That's awesome. All right, so as you guys kind of come across, you do see that there is a gentleman. He's dressed in kind of colorful, flamboyant garb, and he's standing on the deck. And he's standing very still, kind of stoic, which doesn't quite match up with what he's wearing, as it's very loud. The rest of them are dressed in silks and clothing that is from what you guys recognize as Marquesian in nature, especially because you guys do a lot of trading with Marquette. Plunkrawk, you absolutely recognize the ship. This is the ship that you came over months ago from Marquette on. Probably about 8 months ago, actually. And you do recognize the crew, but I'd like you to make a insight check, please.
Okay. That's a 10.
Okay. You do notice that they're a bit more. They tend to be a lot more lively, I guess, and welcoming. But at this point, they're a bit more stoic than is typically expected of them.
Okay, I'll turn to Verleigh and say,
apologies about earlier. My voice. I tend to perform when there's lots of people around, and there's so many of you around who saved me. But I have definitely seen that ship right there before.
I'll nod, and I wanted to look at the colorfully garbed fellow. And does he look unnaturally still, or just, is he still, his eyes are still moving and that sort of thing? Or does he look more like a mannequin?
Yeah, perception check.
Not that awesome. Only an 11.
With an 11, no, you can see him actually shift. And he looks around. He's looking at the rest of his crew. But he's just very still, not very animated. Okay. Boerth and Dilyu, if you guys can give me... Well, I'm assuming Boerth is going to do most of the heavy lifting here. So if Boerth, you could do a strength athletics check. And then, Matt, if you can add your modifier to that roll. Which is something...
I rolled a 17. It's a dirty 20.
Okay, so it's
Which
20.
Is great, because my modifier for strength and athletics is both 0.
Okay, good. There you go. So with a dirty 20, you manage to get the rowboat into the water, but Boerth, you do absolutely realize that you did most of the lion's share of that, and that Dilyu wasn't very helpful in that process.
I didn't expect much, that's for sure.
Good, you're not going to get much.
I'll tell you what, I'll do the lifting. You watch that ship.
I got you.
And you do notice that 2 of the crew member are on the aft deck and have kind of brought the ballistas around to bear, but like on your own ship, not on their ship. But they're kind of standing by the ballistas, but not necessarily taking any sort of violent position at all, or don't want to look like they're any threat. They're just kind of preparing themselves in case it goes sideways. At this time, the captain asks you all to board the rowboat. Everyone does that willingly. You guys get in. Everybody gets in. Don't know if I'm going to be able to fit your minis.
So, Jason, real quick, just to review, everyone on this stream is going in the rowboat to go to the other side?
Yes. Minus the guest and minus the other crew members and the captain.
Okay. So as we get in the boat, I'll say to everyone, own your P's and Q's. Be prepared for anything. Something does not feel right here. I will go first. If something happens, I will be the meat shield. Get yourselves off the boat and back to our own ship. Is that clear?
Copy that, meat shield.
Boerth, you always you're so suspicious. I am sure it is fine. They would not have invited us aboard the ship to do commerce if they meant treachery.
My suspicion has kept me alive this long. I'm going to trust it.
I'm going to use the meat shield as a way to obscure myself from those on the ship to the maximum.
Okay, fair enough.
I suspect your suspicions will keep us alive this day, Boerth.
I lean over towards Dilyu, and I'm like, I realize we just met, my friend, but I trust you implicitly, and I hope you feel like I would not deceive you. I have an important question that I need your help with.
Okay, of course, this is a strange time, but I guess go ahead.
But I need it off of my mind. I need to be able to think clearly when we go over there. Do you see any coins behind my ears? The halfling, every time he reaches and he produces a copper. I do not know how he does it.
Let me look there. Can I go ahead and make a sleight of hand check?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah, that's 19. And I produce another coin, be like, actually, there is quite a number on it. It's incredible.
It's good.
And Kijori is flatly stunned until we get aboard the other vessel.
I would recommend washing it rather abruptly.
I will be rich. Thank you, my friend.
You guys head over to the other ship, and you pull up beside it as you row over. And as you look up, that captain hasn't moved, really. He's kind of standing still, but he is watching you come over. And the rest of the crew is just manning their same positions. He's prepared kind of to welcome you. And it does seem at this point that there are less crew on this ship than are typically present when making these sorts of dealings. And you guys all kind of notice that.
Probably fine.
As we notice that, I'm going to take a holy symbol from around my neck, a jagged metal icon of Cord, the Stormlord. I'm going to hold it tight. I'm going to look right at that odd-looking man that we saw as we were going by. I'm just going to mutter under my breath, "Dear Stormlord, if anything is to go wrong this day, I beseech you to strike this ship aflame and sink it to the bottom of the sea." And I continue about my way.
Do you say this loud enough for the rest of the boat to hear?
I'm not exactly like preaching to the boat, but I don't try and hide that I'm doing it, no.
After we get off the boat. After we get off the boat.
Just very casually asking for smite.
Yeah. All right, so who's the first to board the boat? Boerth, you said you were the first?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I'll follow Boerth.
Just could I a point of clarification? The actual thing we're delivering, like roughly how big is it? I mean, is it a large crate, small crate? Is it a chest? Is it...
Yeah, she says that there are a series of crates that you will put, like 5 kind of medium-sized crates, probably about a foot by a foot square.
Okay.
And we've carried them all over, Jay? They're all in this
No.
boat?
Sorry, you're paying with gold. So she has given you a... Yeah, you guys are paying for the spice with gold, and she has entrusted that to Heidi to carry over to make the exchange.
Then I stay with Heidi. Like, I stay with the gold until the exchange, and then I stay with the cargo after the exchange. So I'm wherever that is.
Boerth, you are on board. Plunkrawk, you are behind him.
Okay.
Who's next?
Dilyu. Dilyu is glued to Boerth because I've been told to.
Okay.
Is there only one ladder going up?
Yeah, there is only one ladder.
Okay, and sides of the ship are going to be too smooth to try to climb up otherwise. Okay, yeah, I'll go behind Dilyu.
Sorry, Jace, now that I'm on board, and I'm looking right at the guy, he's within 10 feet of me.
Yeah.
Has he moved? Is this dude not moving or moving? Like, what is his deal?
Perception check.
Oh, God, yeah. I mean, 13.
He moves in his spot, basically. So he turns, he shifts and rotates to meet you, and he says, "Welcome to the Duna Quanak. You are here for the spice, is that right?"
Yes. The transaction is about to commence. Are you prepared for us? Are you ready?
But of course we are. Dave?
Is this a man we either do know or should know based on our line of work?
You've never seen this particular captain before.
But that is not innately unusual, though.
No, it's not.
Jason, as I finish that statement with the captain, I'll reach my hand out.
Yeah.
For him to come shake it.
Yeah. He takes a step forward and reaches out his hand. You get a faint smell of sulfur off of him as he shakes your hand. His hand feels skin, fleshy.
Fine.
Normal.
Probably not a big deal. Probably not a big deal.
Am I close enough to smell that?
You're still in the boat. I'm assuming you're the next to come up. No, okay.
I'm following after Plunk.
A lot of beans and hardback. You'll do it.
I'm going to shimmy over to Dilyu and say,
I've been on this ship. I've been on this ship.
Dilyu, Plunkrawk comes over and says that he's been on the ship.
Dilyu is stroking out.
He's over there. He's planting coins in my hair right now. That's what Dilio's doing.
I'm glued close to Boerth.
Okay.
Boerth.
Yeah. So Plunkrawk comes over and says that he's been on. He tells you that he's been on the ship.
To me,
yeah.
Yeah, I shimmied right over and just said,
I've been on this ship. I've been on this ship.
Oh, right. Then, and this is a crew that you recognize?
New crew.
That is problematic. Let's see. Has Heidi emerged yet from the?
Yes, I am out and about.
Yes.
I will just gently, stealthily, without getting too much attention, make my way over towards Heidi. Just be like,
it seems that the bird castaway that we have brought up does not recognize the current inhabitants of this ship. This is highly strange.
Yes. Keep your wits about you, my friend, and thank you. I'm going to touch Dilyu on the shoulder, and you feel this sense of a little tingle of calm pass over you as I cast resistance upon you.
ooh.
Do well.
The captain simply points down towards the door leading down, or the steps leading down into the hold.
Dilyu, go first. I'm going to watch our back.
What? All right.
There you go.
Slowly, kind of occasionally looking over my shoulder with a kind of a half whimpering look, begin to make my march down into the darkened hold of the ship, which does not have the same crew that it was supposed to.
Yeah, exactly. Go ahead, V-Dave.
I go right after him because Kijori thinks this is great. I'm all like, oh, hello, my friends. Oh, that is a beautiful outfit you are wearing. I have not seen its like. I cannot hear you over it. It's a little loud, but that's okay. And then I just go with him.
As you start down the stairs, Dilyu, there is a smell of sulfur that hits your senses that is very prevalent in this hold as you start to descend the stairs.
Now, when you say sulfur, just out of curiosity, I've done a little bit of dock work. I've probably moved quite a bit of black powder for use in cannon fire and other explosives and such. Is it akin to that sort of a smell, or is this just a deeply different sulfurous scent?
Deeply different sulfurous scent.
Oh, okay. Both would be awkward. But immediately as I head down, just constantly at every corner gauging anything or nearby that might be odd or strange.
Yeah. As you go down, there is another crew member who is standing to your left as you kind of your head comes below the deck. And the crew member looks at you again, just like the captain did, and points back into a back corner with an open hand. No words.
Is everyone up, Jason? Is everyone on board?
All of you, yeah. The rowboat is currently tethered to the side of the ship.
Okay.
They are highly efficient. They do not waste words. I appreciate this. Yes.
Then I will go ahead and head towards the box that has been revealed and inspect it carefully.
And there's kind of a back corner they're pointing very specifically to a small pile of wooden crates that are in a corner. As you head in that direction, you get to it, but out of the corner of your eye, immediately you sense movement from one pile of crates to the other, and it's something that it's a mass that moves across the deck to the other side. Where are the rest of you right now? How many people are going below deck, and how many are staying above?
I'll stay above.
Sorry, B. Dave, what's that?
I went below.
You're below. Dilyu's below. Dajarkal's above.
Is the cargo, is that below deck?
Yes.
That's where I'm going then.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go below as well.
I would like to stay above.
Okay. So the four of you go below. Boerth, you're above?
Yeah, I'm staying up with Heidi, and the two of us are preparing for whatever is about to happen.
Yeah, we're team suspicious.
This is nothing is good about this, and I'm immediately sussing out who to attack first.
Yeah. As your comrades kind of have descended the deck, you look up at one of the crew members who are on the aft deck, and this one's actually quite fidgety. Not only fidgety, but you see a bead of sweat start to drip down its forehead.
I'll call him out. I'll say, "You there? You're sweating and nervous."
He stops.
Speak now before I run this halberd through you.
He straightens immediately and kind of digs his nails into the deck at the back, or the railing, as the captain kind of turns his head slowly towards you. Matt, as you were below, immediately this form, almost like a gelatinous ooze form, jumps out from behind one of the crates. I'd like you all to roll initiative.
To arms, my brethren! I will wait. I scream.
Okay, 16 for Dilyu.
16 for Kajori.
18 for Plunkrawk.
14 for Heidi.
So hang on a second. 16 for Plunkrawk? Or that was
18.
Kajori?
18
okay.
for Plunkrawk.
18 for Plunkrawk.
Yep.
Next.
12.
Next.
Verleigh, 14.
5 for Bork.
Okay.
I appreciate the most suspicious guy. It's like, wait, it really was a trap.
That works.
12 was that 12 for Dajarkal, Noura?
Yes.
Okay. Next.
I think that's all of us. I'm too busy screaming at them.
I didn't get Snow.
I'm at 7. I'm still on the other ship, right?
No. Did you want to stay on the other ship? Yeah.
Well, I thought I was on this ship, but then I was confused.
Yeah,
okay.
you were on the ship. Yeah.
All right. Then that means I'm up on deck, I guess.
Yeah. And you get the sense that the captain typically sends more than is necessary to make sure that nothing like this potentially happens. So that you don't get overpowered or taken over or anything like that. I mean, the other ship is fair enough, or will fare well enough on its own.
But she and I also would like play things up. She might send me over to make them, the other people feel underestimated or something.
Yeah, exactly. Heidi, I didn't get your initiative.
14.
Between you and Verleigh, you guys are tied at 14. Who has the higher dexterity?
Got 1.
Verleigh, what's your dexterity?
What's my dexterity? 18.
Yeah. Okay. So Verleigh first, right? Okay. All right. Plunkrawk, you are up first. You said you went under, or are you above deck?
I am staying up above.
Below deck.
Below deck. Okay. So you immediately see this mass of ooze jump up towards Dilyu in the corner as Dilyu kind of turns to face it. What do you do?
Okay, so I'm just going to quickly swing my little loot out to the front and basically just do a bardic inspiration on him, Dilyu. Just go like, you can do it, you're back into it. Just like that.
Oh, that was very nice.
That's good. Okay. Dilyu, you're up. Kajori, you're on deck.
All right. Since I've had my light crossbow at the ready, it's the immediate thing is I just go ahead and instinctually, hearing the song, it's almost like I see the movement, I hear the song, and then see the creature immediately after, like, unleash a bolt towards it. So I'm just going to make a shot with my light crossbow.
Okay.
That would be 13.
That is a hit.
Aha!
Your yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was saying 10 points of piercing damage.
Yep. So your crossbow digs deep through this creature, and it kind of separates in the middle and reforms as it kind of crosses you and lands behind you, as it was kind of almost mid-flight, coming at you. Kajori, you're up. Verleigh, you're on deck. Did you want to stay where you are, Dilyu?
Actually, I'd probably try and get a little to the higher ground if there is a path to back towards the steps to try and get to the rest of the crew.
Yeah. So you back off basically like 30 feet back towards, and it puts you almost at the foot of the steps.
You got it.
Someone is within 5 feet of this thing now with all of us down here in the hold, correct?
Yes.
All right.
You're within movement. You can get there in like 20 feet.
But is anyone within 5 feet of it? I'm wondering if I can land a sneak attack on it. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Not currently.
All right. Well, my daggers leap to life in my hands, and I dual wheel attack it.
All right.
One is a 24 to hit, and one is in my offhand is an 11 to hit.
The 24 is a hit.
Okay. That is for a big old 5 points of damage.
Okay. With 5 points of damage, as you come up at it, you kind of swing down on it and pin it to the deck, and it fizzles and evaporates into this gelatinous mess on the deck.
You see, it was fine. They had like some strange creature. Perhaps it was someone's pet that got loose. I mean, I believe everyone is overreacting. It's nothing.
Dilyu, can I get a perception check from you? As it's Verleigh's turn.
All right, so I'm going to attempt to hide behind probably Boerth is the bigger one. Where's the closest enemy crew person to?
Oh well, the closest one to you right now is the captain.
Oh, okay. Well, I'd like to attempt to obscure myself from the captain by using Boerth as a meat shield, if possible, and then look to chuck a dagger at this guy.
Yeah, and at this point, you guys can hear that there's combat that has started to erupt below deck. Yes. You hear the sound of bowstrings going and the sound of combat beginning to ensue.
Right. Yeah. So I have one dagger to throw. I figure I better unload it.
Yep.
On the captain. So stealth roll to see if I can become stealthy.
Yep. Go ahead.
All right. That would be a dirty 20.
Okay. So yeah, you managed to hide behind Boerth at this point.
Okay.
And obscure yourself. Matt, what was that perception check for you? Mercer.
Sorry, for me, I thought you meant.
Yeah.
That would be 14.
As you were backing up across the hold, you step on something squishy. And as you do, you see that there is this long line of gelatinous ooze, almost like a tether that extends from a door at the back of the hold, extends up the side of the wall and up through the deck.
Great.
Heidi, you're up. Dajarkal, you're on deck.
Okay. What is the reaction on the top deck?
Currently, the captain remains standing still, and the crew members are starting to get fairly nervous, but they're staying still. There is no real movement on deck from the other side, but you guys are starting to obviously get nervous and move.
I'm gonna look towards Boerth and say, Bosun, if anything goes screwy up here, shout for me. I'm going under. I need to know what's happening down there. And I'm going to rush down from where I am into the ship's hold. How far can I get with my 25 feet?
To the bottom of the stairs. So basically you cross the short distance to the stairs and you're able to get down. As you get down to the bottom of the stairs, you can see what has developed down there.
Okay, so I can see basically the whole room. I can see my friends and so forth.
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to drop concentration on that resistance that Dilyu's got, and instead I'm going to hold up my holy symbol and say, Stormlord, I don't know what the hell is happening here, but I need you to protect my crew against all odds. And I'm going to cast Bless on, it's going to be Kajori, Dilyu, and how about Dajarkal? Those three, every time I make an attack roll or saving throw in the next minute while I'm concentrating, add a d4.
I get to use my d4s.
How have I forsaken thee? Where did we go wrong?
Dajarkal, you're up. Snow, you're on deck.
Do I see any of this creature left that's attacking us?
Give me a perception check.
16.
No, you don't. Though you do see Dilyu kind of lift his foot and look down at something that is kind of extending across the bottom. From this distance, it kind of looks a bit like a rope. You're not quite sure what it is, but you can tell that he's taking notice of it.
Okay, I'm going to get a bit closer.
Okay, as you get closer, you see the same thing that he did. It's like this kind of pink, fleshy, oozy tendril that extends across the floor of the deck, the floor of the hold.
What do you think this is?
I don't know, but I don't trust it. Not with that sort of consistency and squishy sound.
I believe you should give them a quote to clean up this vessel, huh? They might have use of your services, I think.
I shoot a very intense dark glare over towards Jori.
Total side eye.
And then laugh.
Fair enough. Snow, you're up. Plunkrawk, you're on deck.
Okay, so the situation on deck right now has not come to any blows. It's just getting tenser by the second, right?
Yes, but again, it seems like the tenseness is only can only be told by you guys. So it looks like the crew have been told to stay where they are and not move. The captain hasn't moved yet, and is kind of blankly staring at you.
And he hasn't spoken a word.
No.
And I haven't seen anything that he's done.
No.
But I get a sense of where people are within 30 feet of me, 30-foot radius of me.
Yep.
Given the blind sight that I've got. So who's within 30-foot radius? I can see everybody on the deck, essentially.
Except
I can sense everybody on the deck.
Yeah, you can sense that. Yeah, everyone that you can see on camera is who you can sense on deck.
Okay. I want to say I could prepare an action to attack if anything came to it, but I'd have to have weapons drawn for that to work, right?
Say that again, sorry?
I would have to have weapons drawn for me to be able to have a stored action, like a saved action, right?
No, not necessarily. I'll allow you to draw a weapon as a free action.
So, all right. So I have my quarterstaff out already anyway because I use it as a cane.
Yep.
But should anything go down, I'm going to use my... Actually, I'm not close enough to anybody to hit them anyway, right?
But you could hit the captain within 10 feet.
Okay. Should anything go down...
Yeah.
I'll just move like within 5 feet of the captain, so I'm within range.
Okay.
Then I will immediately, grab my my swords and start swinging.
Okay. Plunkrawk, you're up. Dilyu, you're on deck.
So I'm going to, having seen the destruction of this Uzi thing, run up to the top deck.
Yeah.
And say,
Under attack! We're under attack!
Boerth, yes, I don't have you on this. What did you roll for initiative?
I had a 5.
Okay. All right. I'm going to let you go now.
Thank you. So I'll say before he runs out, I'll say to our ship across the way, to arms, bring the what are they called?
Ballista.
The big guns.
Ballista. Yeah.
Yeah. And my halberd's out, and I'll attack with the blunt side of my halberd the captain.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna jab him, and I'm not gonna to cut him, but I'll crack him across the face with the staff part.
Okay.
That is a 10.
Okay. With a 10, you strike across with your halberd, and it smacks him in the face, and he simply just turns his face like this and looks back at you and cocks his head to the side.
Retreat!
You say that as Ballista let loose across from the other deck, from the other ship.
Scheiße.
One of them hits true, actually, and pins one of the crew members to the deck, who are on the aft deck. And the one beside him screams out in fear and begins to run down the steps, as if now this has scared him out of his current ordered state. Plunkrawk, sorry, did you get your option to do something, or?
Yeah, I hadn't. So given that Boerth has done that, instead I'm going to pull out of my bag, start a fire. Is there anything in this in the vicinity that's nearby that I could light potentially on fire?
There is a lot of wood on this ship, so yes.
All right, so I'll quickly jump into a corner, find some dry stuff, and start building a little blaze.
Okay, so you basically start to, okay, so you basically start to light a fire in the corner in the hold.
Yep.
Okay, and you manage to find what might appear to be coconut fiber in a crate that has been opened and kind of sorted through, and so literally you are trying to now light that. Can you give me a dexterity check just to see how well you use that flint steel?
Yep. That's a 14.
Okay, with a 14 you manage to light a little bit of a flame, and it starts to grow. Slow, but it starts to grow as it's as it's
I'll just nurse it for a couple months.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Dilyu, you're up. Jory, you're on deck.
All right. Noticing this weird fleshy tether, where does it seem to disappear to? Where does it go continually into the ship?
Yeah, so it's basically like 40 to 50 feet back behind a door at the back of the aft deck, like at the back of the hold, under the door.
Is there?
And there's only like an inch under the door of space.
Got you. So are there like boxes, like pretty heavy cluttering of crates and boxes around this deck area?
Yeah, yeah. You have there's a 10-foot kind of aisle in the middle, and then there is scattered piles of different things.
Right, and nothing
in barrels.
Nothing in the aisle right now blocking my way.
No.
I'm gonna go ahead and use my movement as well as my bonus action to dash.
Yeah.
To go ahead and make my way all the way to that doorway, and then use my action to go ahead and attempt to, looking at which way it opens, shove it open.
Yeah. Okay, so you get back to the back, you push against it with your shoulder, and you realize that it opens out towards you. You grab the handle, and you thrust it open, and immediately are assaulted by this stench of sulfur again, even stronger, knowing that this is the source of where it was. And inside this room is this mass of gelatinous ooze. And kind of undulating under the surface of this ooze are skulls that move and shape. And basically there is this tendril that extends from below it, basically between your feet and back from where it came, that leads up to the deck.
Yeah, that's horrifying.
At this point, you actually get the sense that the tether leads to where the captain was standing.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
If
With
that
my
wasn't
last,
already obvious.
no worries. You said it was 50 feet towards where I was to that back door, correct?
Yeah.
I'll use my remaining 10 feet to try and back up and to the side of the door, and I'll take whatever opportunity attacks me.
Yeah, you actually didn't. As you opened it, it wasn't within that 5 foot radius, so you're actually able to move out without getting that opportunity attack.
Okay, perfect. Then I'll duck just out to the side of that door frame and get 10 feet back, kind of back to the wall as I reload my crossbow.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, Jory, you're up for later on deck.
So I am more of a lover than a chemist, but I believe that sulfur is highly flammable. So since this Kancko bird is about to doom us all, I continue the mission. I take my daggers and start flipping crates open and see if I see the spice, if I see what we're after.
Yeah, so you saw the direction that Dilyu went, and you saw where they pointed. So it's actually very apparent that there's a certain pile in the back. Just basically, I'd say 20 feet back from where Dilyu is now, where those crates are.
I move to what we're actually after and start gathering up as much as I can.
Okay.
I believe we should be exiting this vessel, my friends.
Yes. And these crates aren't incredibly heavy. They're full of packets of spice. So each one of you can carry 2 crates easily under your arms if you wanted to.
Yeah, I know I look so beefy, but I hate this sort of thing.
Very good. All right. Verleigh, you're up. Heidi, you're on deck.
Being as I'm all stealthy, I'm going to slip over to the side of where the captain is, already distracted by Boerth, and I'm going to sheathe my short sword in his kidneys.
Love it.
Not super successfully, unfortunately. That would be a 12.
Yeah, a 12 is not enough.
Yeah.
So as you kind of sneak around back, as it's kind of turned towards Boerth after being hit in the face, you dig your dagger deep in its side. It actually goes in, but as you pull it out, it's like pulling a dagger out of goop, and it kind of clings to your dagger and lets go, almost like you've just stabbed Jello.
Wow. Okay.
And it turns its gaze towards you.
Okay, very alarming. So this is definitely, I'm getting the sense it's not something natural. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
If I can tumble away from it backwards, that'd be wonderful, but that might be too many actions.
No, you still have movement left, so you can move back, but you risk the chance of getting an attack of opportunity.
Okay, yeah, let's try to do a backwards roll using acrobatics to get out of the way, because this thing's obviously not natural, and it's kind of scared me a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. All right. Heidi, you're up. Dajarkal, you're on deck.
Boerth, is everything all right up there?
Oh!
Got it! And I'm going to just keep concentrating on the blessing that I gave to my friends downstairs. I'm going to sprint upstairs on my short little dwarven legs. I'm going to appraise the situation. And I see the captain, and I just lock eyes on him, and I mutter under my breath, "Oh, I knew I never liked you." And I'm going to say, if Cord does not smite this ship, then I will do it myself. And I'm going to hold my holy symbol up, and I'm going to throw a punch, and this bolt of radiant lightning shoots from my fist as a guiding bolt straight at that eerie captain. I'm going to make an attack roll. That's going to be a 19 to hit.
Oh, yeah. That is a hit.
Yes.
And that's going to be 16, 19 radiant damage.
Very nice.
Nice.
With a 19 points of radiant damage, it lets out this unearthly scream as its face basically opens up in this gelatinous kind of maw that screams and then reforms back into the face of the captain.
Holy hell!
As you kind of pull your fist back. Dajarkal, you're up. Snow, you're on deck.
How far away am I from the now larger
Yeah,
thing?
you're about 60 feet from that.
60 feet. I'd like to move up 30 feet, and then I'm going to cast Thorn Whip at it.
Yeah.
And just crack it at it.
What's the range on Thorn Whip?
30 feet.
Oh, good. Well, there you go.
Right.
Can you just describe your thorn whip and how you bring it to bear?
Okay. So I did roll a 23.
That's a hit
for that.
Yep.
So as I unfurl my arm, it just seems to be like an extension that keeps growing out of my hand, and it just unfurls into these thorns that pop out and just cracks at it.
Amazing.
Heck yeah.
And that is for a whopping 4 points of damage.
Okay.
Hey, every little bit helps.
That's good. All right, and as you do that, the thorn whip kind of rips across its skin. It opens up. We'll call it skin. Its gelatinous surface. It kind of opens up a little bit. Some gelatinous ooze kind of oozes out, and then it closes back up.
Ooze.
Lots of oozing.
Ooze.
Snow, you're up.
All right, now that I'm certain that combat's happening, I'm gonna go stabby with my short swords.
Okay.
So stow my quarterstaff, grab my short swords, and I'm gonna stab away. And wow, I rolled the same for both swords. So that is a 22 to hit for both
Those
swords.
Those are both hits.
Sorry.
Very nice.
Oh, but I only add my. Do I hit my bonus add my bonus to hit on the second sword attack? No, right? It's just damage that I.
Yeah.
All right. So then it's a 22 and a 17.
Yep. They're both hits.
Yeah. And damage is 6 and 2.
Okay. 8 points of damage. Okay, as you do that, again, you cut into this creature, and it seems to almost splay apart, show its true nature, and then reform back into the creepy captain.
Okay. It just sounds weird to me, though.
Sorry, say it again?
I guess it just sounds weird to me, though.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, you don't exactly. You just hear as it kind of reforms as you're kind of cutting into it.
That is not right.
Yeah, it turns towards Heidi. Who has obviously caused it the most damage, and this creature reaches out for your face. Oh. What's your armor class?
My armor class is 14.
Okay. With a 14, its hand clutches your face, and its hand begins to kind of transform and envelops your head. I'd like you to take 5 points of psychic damage as you begin to feel this incredible pressure within your head. I'd like you to make a wisdom saving throw.
17.
Oh, your whole world starts to almost fall apart as you start to lose your ability to contain thought and reason, but you're able to shrug it off in that moment.
I'm just repeating this mantra: "Accord is my strength. I am the calm in the middle of the storm. I am the calm in the middle of the storm."
Boerth, it is your turn.
Oh, it's my turn. I will. I'll immediately. So, is he still attached to Heidi? Is it still attached to Heidi?
No. As soon as it kind of enveloped it, it did its attack, and then it let go. It's not grappled.
Okay. I will attack with the pointy part of my halberd. I'll make sure the ballistas keep raining down pain, ballistas. I get advantage because of the guiding bolt, don't I?
Yes.
All right, so that is it's a 19 to hit.
Yep, that's a hit
with 12 damage. And I'll scream to all the shipmates, "Retreat! We retreat from this boat!" I'll start calling for a retreat.
Okay. You guys hear him yell that below, and you are also noticing that every once in a while, this big mass that is below deck shudders from potential attacks that are happening up above as well. You hear combat, and every time you hear some sort of attack land, the main form shudders as well.
Jason, real quick, if I can, the other crewmate, there was other crew up there.
Yeah.
That did not seem to be in line with this captain. They're not attacking us, correct?
No, and you've actually looked up now, and some of them have already taken cover in certain areas of the deck.
So I'll scream, "To arms, you cowards! Now rise up and defeat this beast!"
Persuasion check? It's intimidation check, I'd say, actually.
It's a 10, which isn't great because I get too many orders in one turn. But next time, I'll give less orders.
Yeah, with the 10, they basically continue their retreat into the lower part of the cabin.
Die as cowards.
You didn't make your attack, did you?
Yeah, I did 12 damage.
That's right, you did 12 damage, right? We're back to the top. Plunkrawk, you're up. Dilyu, you're on deck.
Okay.
And we're closing in here to the end.
So having confidently started the little fire, I'm going to use a dash action and try to run and jump onto the little rowboat that's between us.
Okay, you're still below though, setting fire to the.
Yep.
Okay,
that's right.
So you're dashing up.
Yeah, I want to have started the fire.
Yeah.
For that last round.
Yeah.
And hopefully it's started enough that I can dash away now into that little rowboat.
Okay, so you run up the stairs. What's your movement?
60 now with the dash.
Okay, so 30 puts you at the top. 60 puts you to the other 30 puts you to the boat. You're in the boat.
Cool. So you see this little birded man kind of jumping, running full tilt towards the little rowboat, jumping into it from over high and saying, "Fire! Fire!"
Dilyu, it's your turn.
All right, seeing what I just revealed in that chamber, horrifying mass, and seeing the rest of my allies setting flames to the exit. And making these announcements that we are to flee. Sweatily, nervously, Dilyu is going to go ahead and just run right back down that narrow pathway below the deck, using the movement there, using bonus action to dash to try and catch up and follow our new bird friend, who seems to be making this statement, and then use my actual action to dash and see if I can cross that chasm and get as close as I can to the edge of the deck of the ship.
Okay, so yeah, with 60, with that dash, your 60 feet of movement put you to the bottom of the stairs, and you're about to ascend the stairs to the deck.
Right, and so I'm using my action as a dash. There's 3 movements in one turn. Using the bonus action as rogue, that gets me.
Oh, sorry, yes, of course.
No worries.
That puts you up to that puts you up and over into the ship actually.
Oh, okay, great. So
onto the rowboat. Yeah.
Full on sprint, leap.
Yeah.
Into the rowboat. That's perfect.
Yeah, good. Wow, that was quite the turn.
Rogue, man.
I see him come in and I go, "Fire!"
Evidently.
Kajora, you're up. Verleigh, you're on deck.
I do the same thing, except Kajori, being the consummate professional, I bring the spice up to the deck and then immediately turn around and try and go back for at least one more load of it. So I also triple move. I also have 90, but you tell me what amount of that can get up there, drop the spice I can carry, and then turn back for more spice.
That's great. I love it. So I would say, let's see, you're about 50. You're 50. You're 50 from the edge of the stairs. So with 60, you get to the top of the stairs.
Mm-hmm. And then I'd have 30 more be on my way back, basically.
Yeah, 30 more to be on your way back, which means you're back to about 15 from the spice again.
The whole time I'm doing this, I'm very much like mumbling and cursing to myself. I'm like, the captain said not to steal anything. I thought I would steal some hearts, not the ghoul hearts. I do not want that. I'm not a laborer.
Verleigh, you're up. Heidi, you're on deck. We're just going to go through initiative order, folks, and then we'll call it because we have one more stream that we have to do in the next hour. We want to make sure you guys get a decent break.
All right, I'm just going to step back, get out my bow, and as I'm getting out my bow, because I don't want to be anywhere near this thing with this goo coming out of it, I'm gonna yell at the crew members like Boerth's aborted attempt, and say, "Does the halfling have to fight this abomination? Where are your spines, men?" And try to intimidate them to fight.
Okay.
dirty 20.
Okay. With a dirty 20, there's only one crew member left on the aft, and they're kind of like hidden. They're not sure exactly what to do. The rest of them are already under. On the bow of the ship. Hearing that, she springs up and draws her saber and starts to run down the stairs towards the captain.
All right. I'll just have my bow ready, but I can't shoot till next round.
Okay. And you're far back enough actually now that you could, like, you're about 5 feet from the deck and about 10 feet from the captain currently. So you're free for movement if you want.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just wanted to get to the edge because they haven't all left, so I don't want to desert them. I want to provide cover with the bow.
Got it. So you're covering their escape.
I'm covering their escape, yeah.
Okay. Heidi, you're up. Dajarkal, you're on deck.
Okay. People are fleeing the boat. Is that goo hideous monster that tried to murder my brain still alive?
Yes.
Then until everyone is off this ship, I will smite him with all the fury in my heart. In fact, I'm going to sprint to him.
Yeah.
And with Holy Symbol in one hand, I'm going to bring up my other hand, which begins to crackle with this black lightning. And I'm going to try and plunge my hand straight into his gooey chest and inflict wounds.
Nice.
23 to hit.
That is a hit.
That is going to be 4 or 5. It's going to be 11 necrotic damage.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it starts to shudder and shake in this like really strange convulsive nature as it again shifts in and out of its form. Dajarkal, let's go ahead.
I'm out of spells. That's all I can do. Help up here.
Dajarkal, you're up. Snow, you're on deck.
So just in such fury, I'm getting ready to just sprint towards this thing, and I cast Primal Savagery, and you see these like huge claws unfurling and my teeth gnarl. But then I hear fire and retreat, and then I just see Dilyu run right past me, and I'm like, oh crap, and they just retract and I like run past back towards the ship.
Yeah, and at this point smoke is starting to fill the hold as you're pretty much left alone, Kajor, making your way over to the spice. And how much movement? What's your speed? 30, right?
30 feet, yeah.
Dajarkal? Okay, so you actually are able to get up the stairs and to the edge of the deck, but not into the boat.
Okay.
Snow, you're up.
All right. I'm really angry about this turn of events. Like absolutely vexed. So I'm going to turn and I'm going to shout to whoever was in the dinghy, because I heard somebody jump down and land in the dinghy or the rowboat or whatever we're calling it. And I can say, shout to me, shout.
All right, up this way. I will try to catch you.
Okay, so I jump off down towards where I heard the voice and hope that I land in the boat.
Give me an insight check.
Wait, hold on. How far down is this?
It's only like 10 feet.
Am I taking fall damage for that?
We'll see.
Is anybody has I can climb really well. I mean, I'm a cat person.
Are you climbing or are you jumping? Are you like just
I can climb. I can climb. So
okay, so you head over and you start to climb down.
Yeah, and if I need extra movement, I can use my feline agility to double my movement speed. So
okay, so you get to the boat safely. But as you do, you feel the movement of air just past your head as the captain strikes out for you but misses.
All right. Well, that's what I was hoping for. Mission accomplished.
Okay. Jory, as everybody has now left the room and you are standing between this mass within this room and the doorway, the mass starts to like pour out of the doorway. and begins to move in your direction and closes the distance fairly quickly and is basically 10 feet off of where you are beside the foretold spice. The captain then again strikes out at Heidi. What's your armor class again, Heidi?
14.
That is going to be another hit.
Uh-oh.
You take 10 bludgeoning damage.
Ow!
Yeah, plus 2 psychic damage as this appendage grows out of its shoulder and comes across and smacks you across the head. I'd also like you again to make a wisdom saving throw.
7.
That is not enough. You take 1 second. $17 psychic damage. And you start to, as you start to go out, because you go down.
Yeah.
You start to almost feel like your memories are escaping you. You're starting to forget where you are. You're starting to forget why you exist on this ship currently. And you go down. And that is where we're going to end the session for this evening.
Ooh.
Boerth, would you like one more action?
Yes, why do you hate me so?
I'm trying to give you nap time. It's nap time or action. You decide.
I'm going to take one action. I'm going to go full break. I'll grab the first mate. I will drag him over to the edge and throw him in the boat and stay up and wait for Kajori.
Okay.
Oh,
I like it. All right. What is your armor class?
My armor.
Actually, you know what?
Don't worry about.
You're not within range. Actually, you've already stepped back. You're not within range. You're fine.
Okay, good.
Oh no, wait! You just hit it. Yes, you absolutely are within range. What am I saying?
I'm right there. You can play it however you want. My armor class is at 14.
That is not enough. As it just narrowly misses you, and you feel the wind on your back, you jump off into the boat, and you await your companions, and we are going to end the stream there. Thank you so very much for our first foray into Wildemount. To find out how this continues and hear the stories and the lore of what happens to our fated crew, tune in next Monday. So not this coming Monday. This coming Monday, actually, we're going to be playing the continuation of our Cyberpunk campaign now that we have all of the tech stuff sorted out. I don't know. Have we chosen a time yet for that, Luke?
Yes, it was 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern per Mike Pondsmith.
Okay. Sorry, Julian, can I get back to full screen there? And yeah, so we'll be doing that. It's a lot of fun. Check that out on Monday night. Tomorrow night, I will be painting. There's so many masks. I'm just going to do this. Just part the masks.
I feel your pain.
Thanks, WizKids, for making those magnetic. Sunday night, I will be painting the young red dragon on Nolzur's Marvelous Tutorials with RealmSmith. That's where we do a painting tutorial every Sunday night at 5 p.m. Eastern. And then next Monday, April 6th, we will be doing again our premiere of this season. We're very, very excited. I cannot wait. And I just want to thank everyone on the stream for taking your time today to join us on this awesome quest. It's been incredible.
You guys are awesome.
Thank you, Luke, for having us.
Yeah,
We really
Thank you,
appreciate
Luke.
Thank you, Luke.
Thank you, Luke.
In about 4...
From Gary Con.
Yes.
By gear.
Go by gear.
Yeah.
And then also support all of the vendors that have been listed in the emails and such that were supposed to be at GaryCon that weren't able to have exhibit booths and so on there because they need your help too, and they want to make your GaryCon experience awesome. There's lots of great deals actually that people are offering, so check that out, please. Thank you, guys. We'll see you in about 45 minutes for part 2 of the Curse of Strahd finale. We may delay just a little bit, Luke, just because we're running a little late here. So we may start maybe at just 15 the hour there instead. Thank you, Matt Mercer. That is a wrap on Matt Mercer. We appreciate that.
Thank you for having me and running the game, Jay. It was awesome.
It was so much fun. Thank you, B Dave. That is a wrap on B Dave too. I'm sure we'll be playing soon. Also, James Haeck for writing this incredible content and for allowing us to take your 3-sentence characters and me almost killing one. That was fun too. But you've made it to the boat, so you're okay. And then, of course, to my cast members who have joined us tonight, who will be on our weekly stream along with the rest of us, and of course, Matthew and Noura, who will still be with us on Curse of Strahd. Thank you for giving us 9 hours of your time today.
Still going.
Yeah.
And thank your families for allowing us. Currently in Curse of Strahd, you guys are facing off against Strahd himself,
Yes.
which is pretty insane. Things aren't going so well for the party.
I'm
We'll
sure
see
it's
you guys
fine.
soon.
It's fine.
See you
It'll
in
be
45 minutes. Bye.
Bye.